Welcome to Toronto and Rogers Center. Happy Canada Day to everybody. It's a gorgeous Sunday afternoon, and you see the Blue Jays are wearing their red jerseys for Canada Day. Always a great tradition here in Toronto. And you can see the maple leaf proudly displayed on the sleeve of those jerseys, and everybody's got the jersey on. Everybody was entertained to a great ceremony prior to the start of this game today. Street party outside. There was live entertainment. There was face painting and tattoos. Lots of kids on hand. It's always a great day to celebrate the 145th Canada Day. The Canadian Forces unveiling a beautiful maple leaf in the center of the field here at Rogers Center. Canadian Olympians on hand. They're on their way to London just 26 days from now. And we will be joined by some of these Canadian Olympians in the booth later on today. In fact, the diver, Megan Benfeito, threw out the first pitch to Ricky Romero, and a lot of veterans on hand today, and veterans from the Canadian Forces, and the fans got a chance to sing the Canadian national anthem, and it was pretty moving, and a great celebration by everybody involved.
You know, I'm just reminded why I love working in Canada. That was one of the neatest things that that I've ever seen, where the Army person who was singing the anthem just stopped, and the whole stadium was singing, and it was really a cool thing to be down here and witness that.
A very special day, and Aaron Laffey will get to participate as the starting pitcher for the Blue Jays here on Canada Day. Blue Jays have won the first two of three of these games, and they will try to win the series here this afternoon in Game 4. Yesterday was an exciting game. The Blue Jays won 11-2, and everything you could imagine happened in that second inning. They scored 7 runs on 7 hits, and it was really keyed by some good base running that John Farrell's ball club utilized.
They brought out the whooping sticks in yesterday's ball game. A lot of loud hits and a lot of loud outs in yesterday's ball game. Escobar with the home run. Brett Laurie really the sealer right here, that 3-run home run in the 5th inning. They did the great base running. This one right here, I think, was the key to that 7-run second inning, where Bautista was able to go first or third on a base hit to left field. They forced the Angels into trying to make a play. They didn't. He was able to go ahead and score, really lighting the fire underneath the offense. And then Henderson Alvarez took it from there. 7 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run. His fastball was back, touching 96, 97 miles an hour while he was in there. Wouldn't that be a shot in the arm?
To be able to have him back. The defense was terrific. J.P. Arancibia going into the dugout, and then this play by Colby Erasmus robs Albert Pujols of an extra base. That ends the 8th inning, and Erasmus and the defense has played very well. Colby's had a terrific month. He had 25 RBIs in the month of June. That was the 3rd best in the American League. Bautista was first, Mark Trumbull was second, and Colby Erasmus was 3rd in the American League.
You know, who knew when they made the changes to the offense early in June in that series in Chicago that the offense would take off? Sometimes as a manager, you mix things up just trying to hope you get a spark, you get something started. Well, they've started a bonfire right now with the top of that lineup with Laurie and Rasmus at the top, really set the table for the rest of that lineup.
A lot of things going on today, Canada Day, and also the All-Star roster was announced, and Jose Bautista has been named to his 3rd All-Star team. We ask him what it means to him to be an All-Star once again.
Feels great. Again, huge support from the fans, all those votes. It's amazing that I see myself in that position and have so many people following me and showing me the love. So I appreciate it again, and all my thanks go out to everybody who voted.
Now, Jose Bautista is certainly worthy of being to the All-Star game. Bautista leads the majors with 26 home runs. He's driven in 62. The disappointing aspect of this day was the fact that Edwin Encarnacion didn't get named to the All-Star team. In my mind, he is an All-Star and should have been on that ball club.
Certainly worthy of that, the first half that he has put together, and every year there is somebody who gets left off. Unfortunately, Edwin Encarnacion this year is that guy, but what a first half he has had.
Now it's time to take a look at the lineup for Mike Scioscia's Angels. They have been red hot. This is the 2nd time in the last 35 games they've lost back-to-back games, this time at the hand of the Blue Jays. Albert Pujols starting to heat up. He's hit well against the Blue Jays throughout his career, a .400 average with 3 homers and 8 RBIs. Trout, Hunter, and Pujols. And Mark Trumbull, the cleanup batter, he too has been named to the All-Star team along with Mike Trout. Kendrys Morales, Howie Kendrick, Alberto Callaspo is at third base. Eric Ibar is back at shortstop. He got the day off yesterday. And John Hester, who has homered in this series, is behind the plate.
That is a lineup that Aaron Laffey will face, who was great in his first start of the season last time out. He gave up a single to Mike Aviles to lead off the game. Then he retired 12 straight batters before a bloop double by Adrian Gonzalez leading off the 5th inning. Laffey was able to pitch out of that jam, and he threw one more shutout inning to finish that day against the Boston Red Sox. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, and still got a no decision. As the Blue Jays scored 5 runs late and beat the Red Sox 5-1, but Laffey was great in that game against the Red Sox, and he'll have a lot of speed in the outfield this afternoon.
Rajai Davis starts in right field. Jose Bautista is the DH today. They get a chance to get Bautista off his legs for half a game. So Davis is in right. Ben Francisco starts in left field. And the Blue Jays get their big slugger as the DH this afternoon. So we are set for action and an all-star, Mike Trout, the youngest all-star, first all-star to be under 21 since Alex Rodriguez in 1996 when he was with the Mariners. First pitch of the ball game was in there for a strike.
How long is he going to hold that title, you think, Buck, with a week to go before the All-Star break?
You think he might lose it to Bryce Harper?
Yeah, Bryce Harper is on the fan voting, the last man in vote. He might take that away from him.
Bryce Harper is 19. Trout is 20. A couple of young stars, and certainly Mike Trout deserves to go to the All-Star game. Off-speed pitch, and Laffey's ahead, 1-2. Mike Trout had his 11-game hit streak snapped yesterday. Finished up the game 0-for-4. Fights it off and stays alive. Boy, Aaron Laffey could be a real breath of fresh air if he could throw the way he did against Boston last time out. His first start, he was terrific. He had a great fastball, had a good fastball in that he could spot it anywhere he wanted it.
Early in the count, he jumped ahead a lot against those Red Sox batters with that fastball in and out, up and down, backwards and forwards, and then he was able to finish him off with off-speed stuff.
Great day to celebrate at the ballpark, and you can see the Maple Leaf flags all over the stadium. Lots of red jerseys in the crowd. Well, Trout waited to the last possible second to go after that pitch, and he fouled it off, and he stays alive. Been a great weekend here in Toronto. A lot of activities in and around Rogers Center. The street festival outside before the start of this game. 2-2. Laffey having a battle here, first at bat of the ball game.
I think it's no coincidence that when Mike Trout was called up and he was put into that starting lineup and put at the top of the lineup for the Los Angeles Angels, this team has taken off. He can do so many different things. Torrey Hunter, the on-deck hitter, talks about the Angels finally have a leadoff hitter. They haven't had one for a couple of years.
Ball is a fair ball down the right field line. Davis gets over and throws to second base. Good throw, but not in time. What an at bat by Mike Trout. He kept fouling off pitch after pitch and finally was able to keep that one fair.
First go around facing Aaron Laffey, and he got the chance to see a little bit everything that he throws. He can hit the ball from foul line to foul line with authority. With that short stroke, he's not going to strike out a lot, although the Blue Jays got him a lot in yesterday's game. But the speed is the thing that really sticks out when you watch him run the bases. You see how he makes the turn at first base, kicks it into a second gear to hustle into second base with his 15th double already.
Torrey Hunter back in the lineup. He got the day off yesterday. Hunter in the 2 spot. Bunts it, pops it up. Arancibia dives and can't make a play. Good effort by J.P. Arancibia. We saw a play yesterday that he went into the dugout, tumbled into the dugout, catching a pop-up. And this bunt up in the air a long time, but just too far away from home plate.
Tough play for a catcher. You're concentrating on the pitch as it comes in, then the ball is bunted. You got to find the ball, you got to get rid of the mask, and then you just take off. JP executes that perfectly. You're right, the ball just bunted a little bit too far out of his reach.
Torrey Hunter batting second has hit .370, so moving into the 2 spot. Been a good combination for the Angels, the same way Rasmus moved into that 2 hole has been for the Blue Jays. Goes bunt again and takes the ball.
He is also scoring runs for the Angels since moving into that 2 hole. 17 runs scored in 18 games. They moved in a series in Colorado, and he went off hitting a couple of home runs his first game.
He takes a big cut at a high fastball. Lost his footing, and he's going to do a little groundwork there in that batter's box. And they get a foothold. Big crowd on hand. 29,000 here yesterday afternoon. A little bit later start this afternoon. Some of the fans still making their way inside from that street festival they had outside Rogers Center. Torrey Hunter behind 1 and 2. Aaron Laffey worked to Jeff Mathis in his last start. And Mathis did a very good job of getting Laffey through that 6th inning outing.
He did a really good job of reading bats. Jeff Mathis reading the bats of the Boston Red Sox. And if he felt like they were on his fastball, he would switch to Laffey's off-speed stuff. If he felt like they were sitting on off-speed, he would go to that fastball. Aaron doesn't throw that hard with that fastball, maybe 90, 91 miles an hour, but when you are looking breaky ball and he pops one in there, it's got the effect of a 94 or 95.
Hunter fights it off and fouls it off. But it's all about a catcher gaining experience, and J.P. Arancibia just in his 2nd year of catching in the big leagues, and you have to know your pitchers and you have to know the league, of course, the opposing hitters. But at the same time, this year has been a real challenge for both Mathis and Arancibia because there's been so many changes in the pitching staff.
10 different starters the Blue Jays have run out there already this year in 78 games.
Stop the plate. Full count, nobody out. Mike Trout, the leadoff batters at 2nd. Ground ball to 3rd. Laurie looks Trout back across the diamond. Come down.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for this afternoon starter of the Blue Jays, Aaron Laffey, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. He's got a 3-pitch mix. What we'll watch from him, if he's got the good seeking fastball that he relies on a lot and gets a lot of ground ball outs, that means he's got his good fastball and it's sinking. Change up, and he's got a curveball that he'll mix in there at times. Second time through is going to be very interesting today as hitters gauge what Aaron Laffey is working for him. Mixing in a cutter a little bit this year. But again, he's not a guy who's going to blow the ball by you. He's got to really pitch to get you out.
Albert Pujols steps in. Pujols was 0 for 4 in yesterday's game and robbed of an extra base hit, as we mentioned, by his former teammate Colby Rasmus.
And don't you think his former teammate wants to really stick it to him and take extra bases away from him, which he did? Just a little needle, right?
2-0. Pujols is the active batting average leader in baseball. He's hitting .326 over Ichiro Suzuki by 3 points. Joe Mauer is tied with Suzuki. They both hit .323. Then Miguel Cabrera and Todd Helton. That rounds out the top 5 in baseball. And Pujols got out to a slow start with the Angels, and he has picked it up. He's hitting .421 on the road trip. He has 4 doubles, a home run. He's driven in 3. And he had a season high 4 hits on Thursday in the opener of this series with the Jays.
But no All-Star game for Albert Pujols. That slow start got him.
Drive this ball into right. Rajai Davis over in the gap. Trout tags up. Davis drops the ball. Trout now is going to be waved home. Kelly Johnson, Vizquel is late. Rajai Davis made the catch and then dropped the ball. Trout was tagging at second. And when he advanced toward third, the third base coach, Dino Ebel, saw Davis had dropped the ball and waves him home. Vizquel's throw from second not nearly in time.
Comparisons in baseball are out there all the time. And when you talk about comparisons with Mike Trout, here's the play again. Ball's dropped by Rajai Davis. He wasn't going to have a shot to get him at second. This reminds me of Kirk Gibson, if you remember him. He was an ex-football player. Just the explosiveness as he comes around third base and really scores without a play. As he takes off from second base on the sacrifice fly and is able to score the game's first run.
It's ruled a fly ball out to the right fielder, and then when Davis drops the ball right there, that's an error on the right fielder. But look at Trout. The thing I love about Trout was he never turned around to look at the play. He trusted his coach, and he focused on scoring the run. So Davis is charged with the error.
How about that turn at third base? Now he cut the corner. Dino Ebel very aggressive there. He knows his player could run. Mike Trout can really run. No chance to get him at the plate.
Mark Trumbo gets tied up with that inside pitch. It's 1-2. Your third base coach can only go by the effort that the base runner gives you, and Ebel knew that Trout was coming at him 100%. So as soon as he saw that ball hit the turf, he waved him home. 1-2. Bouncing ball. Escobar has to come after it. Unloads in a hurry in time. Trumbo's retired, but the Blue Jays give up an unearned run in the first. Helen's birthday. She comes from Brandon, Manitoba to celebrate with Canada and the Blue Jays here at Rogers Center. Happy birthday, Helen. And we hope you enjoy the ball game. Couldn't have had a nicer day. Take a look at Blue Jays lineup. They are 2 games over 500. Top 3 in the batting order. Rasmus hitting second at 257. Yunel Escobar had a big game yesterday, hit a home run in that 7-run second inning this season against the Angels. He's worn them out. 10 for 23. That home run came, a 2-run shot yesterday. Then Francisco gets the start in left field. Davis in right. Aaron Sebia and Omar Vizquel starting at second base.
Taking the mound this afternoon for the Los Angeles Angels with a 9-4, 236 earned run average. That is C.J. Wilson looking for his 6th straight win. That would match his longest streak since winning 6 straight last year. This is his 15th career appearance and 5th start versus the Blue Jays, 2nd this season. Lifetime, he's 2-3, with all 3 of those losses coming right here at the Rogers Center. Back on May the 5th at Angel Stadium, the Blue Jays saw him, and he was great. 8 innings, 2 earned runs, and 9 strikeouts.
Brett Lawrie had a terrific month of June. He was .310 for the month, had 35 base hits. He is set against C.J. Wilson. Takes the first pitch, strike. Wilson comes at you very quickly. He really learned a lot when he watched Cliff Lee pitch when they were teammates with the Rangers. And Wilson, very talented in his own regard. Not that he needed much help. But I think the style that Cliff Lee utilizes really plays right into C.J. Wilson's hand.
He is Cliff Lee light. Comes right after you, works very quickly. Throws an assortment of pitches, very intelligent. I think he really understands how he can get hitters out, and then he goes about doing that very effectively.
Throws an awful lot of fastballs. He'll come right at you. He's going to challenge you. And he worked as a reliever with Texas, was their closer, and decided he wanted to start. Boy, has it been a good move. There are the numbers Pat mentioned against the Blue Jays. 14 games. He's 2-3. Averaging 9.5 strikeouts per 9 innings. Lawrie gets a piece of it and stays alive.
Looks like he might have fouled that curveball off of his foot. That's another thing that C.J. Wilson reminds you of with Cliff Lee. He's got a very good curveball. Not a lot of guys who can go up there and spin that ball the way he can.
Bouncing ball. Wilson makes the grab quickly to first base in time.
Take a little bit closer look at C.J. Wilson, the scouting report for the left-hander. Wilson comes after you with a variety of pitches. He's got his fastball, and he can also cut it just a little bit. Got a natural slider, curveball, and he'll throw his changeup also. Again, he hasn't lost since May the 17th when he had his shortest outing since July 31st in 2011. That was against the White Sox, and now he is really on a roll.
Colby Rasmus is on a roll himself. Rasmus hit .291 for the month of June. His average up to .257. 14 homers. He's driven in 46. Wilson missed with that off-speed pitch. 2-0. Colby collected 34 hits in the month of June in 27 games. That tied him with Robinson Cano of the Yankees. That's the 8th most hits in the American League over the month. Jose Bautista had a terrific month, obviously. 14 home runs, 30 RBIs in June.
Just a handful of at-bats that I can remember where he didn't hit the ball hard. Even some of his outs were loud outs to the outfield or right at one of the infielders.
This is Colby's first Canada Day as part of the Blue Jays, and he told me this morning, he said, you know what, I am so happy to be here. He said, I wake up every morning and I'm thankful that I'm a Blue Jay. And he takes a walk.
The designated hitter, number 19, Jose Bautista.
Jose Bautista was named to his third All-Star team earlier this afternoon. He will start in the outfield with Josh Hamilton and Curtis Granderson. 1 out. We had a great conversation with Jose this morning about hitting. And one thing that he really recognized, that he is now ready to hit. He picks up the spin and determines whether he's going to swing or take very early on.
He knows his strike zone. He knows where he wants that ball to be placed by the pitcher. And if he doesn't get it there, he'll stay off of it. The one pitch that he was saying that he has trouble laying off is that high fastball. Here it comes from Wilson. He says he sees it, and because it's so close to him, he feels like he can hit it 9 miles.
But he really knows himself as a hitter, and he knows that's the pitch he has to lay off of. 1-1. Off-speed pitch. He was way out in front. Been in.
Every hitter has to know their strike zone. He has to know where he wants that ball to be placed, and then have the discipline to stay off of everything else that's not there. Jose Bautista is the best in baseball at that. Wanting that baseball where he can hit it hard.
It's only the second time Bautista's DH this season. Just an opportunity to give him a little bit of a rest. He came out of the ball game yesterday early, as he was part of that big 7-run inning, and the Blue Jays had an early lead, and Jose Bautista got some time off. 2-2. Well, how did he foul that ball? I don't think it's a foul ball. And now, hold on, the umpire, James Hoy. That was very, very confusing, because the umpire never indicated anything, and Bautista didn't foul it off. So now he's going to have to call foul ball.
Well, Colby Rasmus is at home and Bautista's at second base.
Yeah.
What did he call?
And now Scioscia's checking with the catcher, and they're going to call a foul ball, I am assuming. James Hoy, the home plate umpire, didn't call anything initially. It didn't look to me like Bautista could have fouled that ball off where it was.
A lot of times you could hear it also, the bat hitting the baseball, tipping it, but Rasmus is going to go back to first base.
It's one of the first times you ever see two managers out and both go back to the dugout. He fouled that ball off?
No. From that replay, it didn't come close to hitting it, and you're right, the umpire made no sign.
No indication whatsoever. So Rasmus read it perfectly. He was off thinking it was strike 3, and it was a out and live baseball. So Bautista gets another chance. And Wilson goes right back to the same spot, this time with the fastball. That was very weird.
On foul balls, the umpire will throw it both hands and signal and indicate to everybody that the ball was fouled off, stop play. But we saw none of that. Then it looked like he started going into his bag to maybe pick up another baseball.
Yep. So full count now to Bautista. Rasmus with a short lead at first. There he goes. Bautista drives it right to the shortstop, and that'll end up as an inning-ending double play. Bautista hit it hard. Double play ends the bottom of the first.
on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Great crowd on hand here at Rogers Center. They are making their way inside for the ball game. And a lot of Blue Jay fans coming on this beautiful afternoon. 3 o'clock start here locally. And a very curious first inning. The Angels scored an unearned run when Rajai Davis dropped the ball after making a catch in right field. Mike Trout scored from second. DH Kendrys Morales batting right-handed against the left-handed offspring of Aaron Laffey. And then Jose Bautista struck out in the bottom of the first. Rasmus was at first. Bautista didn't appear to foul the ball off, but the umpire eventually called that it was a foul ball. It was a big bouncing ball to short. Plenty of time for Escobar. Morales is out.
So did you figure it out? What do you think might have happened there with the umpire?
I think the umpire just mistakenly called it a foul ball. Rasmus was at first. He took off running once he saw the ball up against the backstop. James Hoyt turned around and was surprised to see the ball back up against the backstop. And I think that's when all the problems began. But they got it sorted out. Bautista got another couple of pitches and lined out to the shortstop. Howie Kendrick puts it hard, but right to Encarnacion. 2 quick outs.
You know, since Edwin has been fielding at first base, this is his 31st start over there at first base, and he's been fielding a lot of ground balls with one hand. He's a lot smoother. He's more under control. He's got soft hands. That's pretty good play right there to his backhand side. Corner positions are one-handed positions. That's where you're faster, your hands are a little bit quicker, you're a little bit more under control. Edwin gets in trouble when he's got both those hands on the baseball, and it really throws him off balance when he was at third base, but he's looked great over at first.
How much does the added opportunity at first allow him to go after those balls one-handed?
I think him being able to play a little bit more, you got to feel a little bit more comfortable. His lateral movement is better, but his hands have been so soft this year, and I think it's because he's been doing it with one hand as opposed to two.
Alberto Callaspo, the third baseman, he too is a switch hitter. Reno. Colby Rasmus, look at him. Calling for Rajai Davis, take a couple of steps over towards center. The count is in the hitter's favor, and he becomes more of a pull hitter. There's a strike.
Yeah, that's the one thing that the coaching staff has talked about Colby Rasmus, how he is really taking control of center field, moving his outfielders on either side of him, playing the count, understanding the lead just a little bit better.
Ground ball to third base. Angels are down in order in the second. Aaron Laffey, just 9 pitches, 1, 2, 3. He retires the Angels. July, it's Canada Day. Big celebration going on inside and outside the ballpark. So we thought we'd take a look back at June and check out the Fab Four, top four in this batting order.
The Blue Jays made the change in a series right at the beginning of the month in Chicago and then put Laurie and Rasmus at the top, and it had really worked. Laurie hit .310, 4 home runs, Rasmus 8 home runs, 25 RBIs. Bautista Encarnacion had plenty of RBI opportunities and they cashed in. It's been a group that has really come together as a unit, and now as they start ball games, you really refer to them as the top four, core four, if you will.
All four scored 20 or more runs in the month of June. So they have really worked together very well. Edwin Encarnacion will start things off. He takes a first pitch ball from C.J. Wilson. I'm sure Edwin is disappointed that he wasn't named to the American League All-Star team. He's put up All-Star caliber numbers, to be sure. 289, 22 homers, and 55 driven in. I believe he should have been on the All-Star team.
You know, you always get caught shorthanded because there is a rule in baseball that every organization has to be represented on the 34-man roster. And that's when players who are deserving, like Edwin Encarnacion, get left off of it. One of the backup first basemen, Billy Butler from the Kansas City Royals, the representative for the Royals, and Edwin's numbers are superior.
But the Royals have only one representative, and that's Billy Butler. And that's where it's a bit unfair. Breaking ball, he lays off. That's the one thing, too, right there, that last pitch. That was a pitch that he would flail at in the past. Borderline pitch, 2 strikes, a little bit of a wrinkle. Not anymore. He's got a real good idea what he wants to hit. Hits this ball hard into left center. Encarnacion is around first. He's headed for second. Here's the throw from the outfield, and Encarnacion is out. Mark Trumbo, the left fielder, has a strong arm. He went a long way to his left, and that's why Encarnacion thought he had a shot at beating that throw to second.
And when we watch the replay, watch how he fields the ball also. His ball's in the gap. Watch how Trumbo fields it like an infielder. But he comes up throwing. This is his first outfield assist as he picks up his pitcher, Encarnacion. As soon as that ball gets by Ibar, the shortstop, he thinks he has a shot at it. A good base runner, and it takes a very good and accurate throw by Trumbo to get him. You take that chance 100 out of 100 times like that.
Especially leading off the inning. You force the outfield to make a good throw, and that time Trumbo did. That was a good gamble by Edwin. Torrey Hunter, the first base coach, was waving him around the bag at first, encouraging him to go ahead. And that's the right play when you hit the ball like that to lead off an inning.
You know, the coaches, Torrey Lavello and Brian Butterfield, they have scouting reports of the outfielders, if they move one way or another, when you can try and take that extra base. And that was the time to do it right there.
There's a base hit into right field for Yunel Escobar. He has had some series. One out and the man on. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Thank you, Jamie, but the Orioles got a bit of good news today. They picked up Jim Thome from the Philadelphia Phillies, and Buck Showalter immediately said Jim Thome will be our DH.
How about that? Adding an extra bat and a left-handed bat to that lineup. They really missed Nick Markakis, who's been out with a hamate injury.
Markakis is out. Nick Johnson's got a sore wrist. He started to come around a little bit, but now he's got wrist problems again. No problems for Yunel Escobar against the Angels. He's had a big series. 2-run home run in yesterday's game. Gets a hit in his first at bat here this afternoon. Escobar now 6 for 13 in the series. Ben Francisco starting in left field. Davis, the first start in left field for Francisco. We mentioned Bautista's the DH today. Rajay Davis playing in right field for just the 6th time. Excuse me, just the first start for Davis. He started 5 times in center. Francisco strikes out on a high fastball. First strikeout for C.J. Wilson.
Reaches back for a little something extra and throws it up and away. Tough to do anything with that ball right there. Just hope to foul it off. Wilson comes up with his first strikeout. He will give up his hits, his share of hits. Yeah, C.J. Wilson, but he toughens up when he needs to, when he gets guys on base.
Rajay Davis is 4 for 15 against C.J. Wilson for his career. Ball is popped up into shallow right. Kendrick out, calls for it, makes the catch. Didn't look like Hunter might have been able to get there, but Kendrick takes care of it. So we're through 2 innings. It's 1-0 Angels. When we come back, we'll be joined by some Canadian Olympians. Come on back to Rogers Center and join us. Of being joined by some Canadian Olympics. Andrian Morin of the ladies rowing team and Carol Wynn of the wrestling team. Congratulations to both of you to go to another Olympics. It must be a great thrill.
Thank you. Oh, absolutely. It's so exciting.
You won the first gold medal for the Canadians in 2008. That must have been a great thrill, but I understand you didn't really understand where Canada was in the medal standing at that point.
I had no idea. We weren't in the village at all, and we didn't see any media, so had no idea at the time that we hadn't had any medals.
Andrian, you're going back to the Olympics again, and last time in Beijing you finished 4th, so that has to be special motivation for you to get another chance in London.
Certainly, it was a gut-wrenching race. We were close to the medals, and I think I've had that passion, that fire in me for the last 4 years, so we're ready to have a good one now.
What does it mean to you to go back rowing in England, because that's known for rowing?
Very true. The rowing there is a very popular sport, and you know, you've got some of the best in our sport that have come from that country, so I think there's going to be a lot of media attention. A lot of the greatest rowers are going to be coming out to see us, so it'll be really exciting.
What's your practice regime like now from now until the Olympics? It begins on the 27th. It's not that far away. What are you doing now looking forward to the Olympics?
Well, our training program will not change much from here on in. We've been doing what we've been doing for the last almost 2.5 years, which is 3 practices a day, 6 days a week, 50 weeks of the year. So training as usual. We row about 2 to 3 sessions a day, and then 1 session of cross train or weightlifting. So lots of time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, certainly.
Carol, you come from a very small town in BC, Hazelton, BC, in central British Columbia. Tell us how you got interested in wrestling.
I think it was a combination of different things. I grew up in a town where wrestling was kind of big for some reason. I had a great coach who was a women's wrestling advocate, and actually my sisters were kind of the first women wrestlers on the high school team, so I kind of just followed along, and turned out I was kind of good at it, so I stuck with it.
I guess.
Kind of good at it?
I got to ask you this, and Pat and I, neither one of us have been in this position, but what did it feel like to stand up on that podium knowing that you were the best in the world?
It was an amazing feeling. There were so many different emotions that were going through me at the time, and yeah, just still looking back at it right now, I can still feel those emotions, and yeah, I'd love to do that again.
Carol, you have a saying, courage and confidence. Can you tell us what that means?
Courage and confidence. It's definitely a motto that I've kind of used throughout my career, and it's a reminder that I am courageous, I am confident, but it's also it's something that takes me through my training as well. So that confidence at this stage of competition, that's the thing that's going to make the difference. Everybody's strong, everyone's fit, everyone's got the technique, so it's what's going on in your head that makes that difference.
You could say that about any sport.
Yes,
about
absolutely.
any sport. When you're competing, it's what's between the ears.
Yeah.
What's it feel like to be an Olympic athlete and walk into the opening ceremonies? Because that must be a very special feeling when you get there and everybody's going around representing your country, but it's got to be a great feeling to open up a ceremony like that and knowing that the Olympics aren't far behind.
Yes, I have vivid memories from that walk in 08. For me, it was also my birthday, so I walked in following my flag, and to hear that amount of excitement, of energy, camera flashes, lights blow everywhere, so much energy. It's very special.
Just 3 weeks away now.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind when you talk about your mind? Are you thinking about it 24/7, or are there times during the day where you think about it and just try and get away from it?
I think it's really important to keep that balance. So there's definitely times where you can't shut it off, but I think most of the time, when you're in training and you kind of set yourself a time to do the visualizing, work on your confidence, whether it's writing your journal or just going to yoga or something. So keeping that balance, I think, is a huge part of making sure that you're fully prepared for something like the Olympic Games.
Now, what's the process of getting to London? Will you go as a team, as the H team? Will you go as a team and then as an individual? How do you all get together in London, and once you get ready for the Olympics, how does that happen?
Well, as a team, we train as a team, we travel as a team. We'll for sure be going there as a team. We go to a training camp first in Italy as our final staging camp.
Do you need any help in Italy?
Northern Italy, yes, it's pretty nice up there in the lake region, and it's a staging camp, so it's really at that point it's just polishing, putting on the last little touches, taking care of the 1%ers that we always talk about, and it's just more of the same. Yes, we're a month away, but we kind of have to keep focused and don't change your routine. It's worked until now, and just keep the eyes on the prize and carry on.
You both are veterans, and are you guys training the same way as you did before, or are you training differently? I'm going to start over here with me.
I think what has changed for me in the last 4 years is there's been a change of coach, so I think that also changes the philosophy and how us as an 8 come together. Selection was different. We do a lot more weight training than we have in the past, a lot more cardio than we have in the past, and so as long as we all trust one another and we're all doing this together and everyone has respect, towards this mission, this passion that we have, it works. And I think that's how it's changed. We have a lot of science, a lot of biomechanics, nutrition help and stuff like that. So it's been really interesting on the scientific side of stuff.
Now, Carol, your sport is an individual sport, so how do you prepare for this, your second Olympics?
Well, I think, like Andrea, we basically are sticking to the same plan as last time. I think that some of the things that have changed is I'm kind of an older athlete now, and you know, wrestling has taken a toll on my body, so we've kind of had to make a few adjustments for that. But yeah, we're doing some of the same things, like analyzing video. We're really taking a look at our opponents and making sure that we're ready for whatever strengths they have and ready for opportunities because of their weaknesses, and yeah, just preparing to be the best we can be on that day.
So what countries represent the most difficult challenge for you as a wrestler?
For me, definitely Japan. Japan has been a powerhouse in women's wrestling for many, many years. And then there are a few competitors from Azerbaijan, from Ukraine, China that are very, very strong.
Well, we're all really looking forward to it, and we want to wish you the best. And we'll be pulling for Canada, there's no doubt about it. And we'll keep our eyes on London for you. And ladies, thanks so much for joining us. And we wish to see you at the top of the podium.
We hope so too. We hope you're around.
It'll be awesome. It'll be very good.
Thank you.
That's Carol Wynn and Adrienne Morin. They're both headed to London for the Olympics, and I know it's going to be a great time, and I'm sure they will represent Canada very well. Blue Jays are in the top of the third inning with 2 outs, and Corey Hunter gets a piece of it to stay alive. So 1-0 ball game. Eric Ibar at third base with 2 outs.
Mike Trout put up a good at bat there against Aaron Laffey, eventually hitting a fly ball to center field to get Ibar to second base. Aaron Laffey has thrown a lot of pitches already early in this game.
47 pitches so far, and the Angels have been patient. They've made him work. Corey Hunter fouls another back. It's another 2-2. 2 down. As we mentioned, we are in the top of the third inning. Blue Jays have won 2 of the first 3 games of this 4-game series. Aaron Laffey making his second start of the season. He's allowed just 2 hits so far.
Thinking about how he wants to get Corey Hunter. He has faced him before.
And he does. Off-speed pitch. He strikes out Corey Hunter. Aaron Laffey leaves a base runner at third base. Keeps it a 1-run ball game. Corey Hunter strikes out. That ends the top of the third. Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in a TD Comfort Zone. Our guest of TD, the TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Couldn't ask for a better day to be sitting in the front row in those TD seats. It's a 1-0 ball game. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Blue Jays. Aaron Seavey-Vizquel, and back to the top of the order, Brett Lloyd.
It's always fun to have the athletes up here in
How
the
about
booth.
that? What a great honor it is to represent your country in any kind of sports endeavor, but to be in the Olympics, and they're going for second time.
Yeah, the highest level, and they're both very, very humble. They seem they are both very confident and ready to compete.
And Sebia hits one into shallow center field. Long run for Mike Trout when he gets there. One out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Robinson Cano will start at second base for the American League in the All-Star game, and he's also captain of the home run hitting contest. He has made contact with Jose Bautista about participating, representing the American League. For Yankee Stadium, it's Old Timers Day there at Yankee Stadium. There's nothing quite like being at Yankee Stadium for an Old Timers Day.
That is one of the coolest things if you're able to get there.
Vizquel hits it to left. Petrumbo is there. Speaking of the home run derby, Jose Bautista talked to the media about his thoughts of participating in this year's home run derby.
I'm debating whether to do it or not. The invitation has been sent my way, but I'm 99% sure that I will. But again, I got to run it by the team. Some things you always happen last minute, and I got to make sure it's fine with them and everything. So if it was up to me right now, I'd say yeah.
He would say yes, and that would be a good call. He's participated before. Brett Laurie, big chopping ball to third. Easy play for Diaspora. C.J. Wilson has a very easy 1, 2, 3, third. Just 6 pitches, and the Blue Jays are retired. At the jshop.ca. Stock up on the latest Canada Day items at jshop.ca. Jerseys, caps, t-shirts, and much more. jshop.ca is the official online merchandising site of the Toronto Blue Jays. Canada number 13, and prominent here at Rogers Center this afternoon. It was a beautiful afternoon. A lot of fans have turned out. Vizquel getting the starting nod at second today. Top of the fourth, middle of the order for the Angels. Albert Pujols will start things on. Pujols flied out to right field in the first. That was the second out of the inning, and on the play, Rajai Davis dropped the ball after he made the catch, and Mike Trout scored from second. That's the only run of the ball game.
What a series that Pujols is starting to put together. Blue Jays are not into that exaggerated shift because Albert, he's got such great bat control. He can control his body in the bat, and if he recognizes the Blue Jays have that exaggerated shift, he's punched a couple of balls to the right side for base hits. And that's why you see Vizquel over behind the bag at second now to take away that hit possibility.
1-2. Off the plate outside. Pujols has had hits in 17 of his last 22 games coming into this ball game today. Vizquel playing him inside the circle, if you will. There's that circle of the mound, and that's one of the checkpoints for the Blue Jays defensively. Pujols fouls that ball off. Little wake-up call for Henderson Alvarez. He was camped out comfortably up against that wall, enjoying the sun here at Rogers Center, and Pujols bounced that ball right over his head.
Shook him up. Slider on the inner half. He pulls it. Scatters the bench. Hit the ball that
way. Reaching for it. That's an interesting thing right there. We talk about hitters reaching for baseballs, and generally if you have to reach for it, it's not a strike. We had a great conversation with Bautista about that this morning, and he said, I really learned that if I stay in my good stance and get started early enough, I should never have to reach for anything.
What happens when you reach for a ball also? You're off balance. You're off balance, and you don't have the full thrust of your body behind the swing. Your legs will put you in the position to keep you on balance, and if you have to reach for a pitch, that's why low and away is always a very effective pitch for the pitcher.
Full count. Got him. A little bit of a cutter down and in. Pujols swings over the top. That's the first out of the fourth.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Mark Trumbo grounded to shortstop. His first time up. This time he pops it into center field. Routine play for Colby Rasmus. Boy, once again, you watch Aaron Laffey pitch, and it's a great reminder that pitching is all about disrupting the timing of the hitter. Not so much about overpowering the hitter as it is about going back and forth, throwing quality pitches, and throwing strikes.
And thinking your way through these tough at-bats. And this is as tough a middle lineup as there is in the American League. Pujols, Trumbo, and now Morales. He outthought Mark Trumbo there. He was guessing that Trumbo was sitting on a fastball. He threw that ball 86 miles an hour, like a BP fastball. And he really had Trumbo out in front of it and just couldn't square it up.
Ground ball, easy play for Laurie. Easy inning for Laffey. Aaron Laffey breezes through the middle of the order. Middle of the fourth, it's 1-0 Angels. Schneider's. Friday, July 13th, the Blue Jays will take on the Indians. The game starts at 7:07 p.m. Come on down early and enjoy the pregame festivities happening outside of Cape Pen. It all starts around 4:30. There's a licensed area, live music, and fun interactive games. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com. Or just call the Blue Jays directly. Summer Fan Fridays, which begins July 13th. Great way to spend a Friday night in the middle of the summer. Colby Erasmus, Jose Bautista, and Edwin Encarnacion to face C.J. Wilson here in the bottom of the fourth. You watch C.J. Wilson, and one thing that's very key to his success is his delivery. The ability to repeat that delivery time and time again. And C.J. is a very interesting guy. He understands his body. And you can see there's no effort to overthrow the baseball. He's driving right toward the catcher all the time. And he never really loses that release point.
Very simple delivery. Steps off to the side. Gathers himself over the rubber and throws every pitch right out of that same arm slot. When you can throw like he can throw multiple pitches, same speed if you want to, but he can throw it where he needs to, and that's all the pitching was about. Started as a starting pitcher. Oh, hit him.
Hit his jersey. That's good enough. Rasmus will go to first. Just clipped him on the jersey, and he's aboard. That starts the bottom of the fourth.
That's how you're going to get hit. That's the way you want to get hit. Knock a piece of that jersey. Watch as the ball goes through. It just clips the Blue Jay on the front part of the jersey.
Anytime you can get on ahead of Jose Bautista, that's a good thing. Rasmus has been on base twice already. Bautista lined to the shortstop, who turned it into an inning-ending double play. Breaking ball for a strike. Colby Erasmus, Albert Pujols, former teammates in St. Louis. Looks like they're having a very civil conversation. Bautista with a big cut on an off-speed pitch.
Pujols is saying, don't you dare take away those hits away from me like you did yesterday.
And Colby says, I'm going to grab everyone I can.
That was one of the finest catches that we have seen this year by a Blue Jay outfielder. Laying out on the warning track to take away extra bases.
Bautista fouls off the inside pitch. It wasn't a good time for Rasmus in St. Louis.
No.
He just never felt like he was welcome there, and nobody can perform like that when you don't feel comfortable in your surroundings. It's a hard atmosphere to play.
A lot of veterans there. It's tough for rookies and young players to crack those lineups and feel like you're part of the team. But he has come over here with a lot of players his age, and he has fit in.
He's become very popular here in Toronto. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jose Bautista. Wilson takes too much time.
You know, because Wilson does such a good job of mixing his pitches up. It's tough to get the ball in the air. He has only given up 5 home runs all season long.
That's off the end of the bat. Wilson calls for it, and he'll go to the line and tag Bautista. The ball had a lot of spin on it. Hit right off the end of the bat, and Wilson got off the mound quickly and puts the tag on Bautista.
On top of being a very good pitcher, C.J. Wilson's a very good athlete. Watch him pounce off the mound, call off Pujols. Realizes that Pujols is not going to be able to get back to first base, so he just takes it himself. Hustles over there and tags out Bautista.
C.J. Wilson has held opponents to a .204 batting average this season. That's tied with Justin Verlander. Jared Weaver, the Angels, has a .193 opponent's batting average. Chris Sale, who was named to the All-Star team, he has a .198 opponent's batting average. Then Verlander and Wilson are tied.
What an investment the Angels are getting for signing C.J. Wilson.
Pretty good bang for their buck, that's for sure. Wilson and Albert Pujols. How about that sign? Get on Sportsnet and see Edwin Homer.
Are you a prophet?
Perfect.
Come on, right here.
We'll put you on again if he hits a homer. Oh, he's got a good eye and looking very comfortable facing Wilson.
Lying and laying back. Really has an idea what he wants to hit. That might be the biggest difference that we have seen in Edwin Encarnacion this year. Having an idea and then waiting for that pitcher to make a mistake there.
Gideon Escobar's had a big series. He's on deck. That ball cut all the way across the plate. Wilson was trying to catch the outside corner. It had a lot of movement, but it was in the strike zone.
I think Wilson called out Hesper there to tell him, hey, look, we've got first base open. We're up by a run. I'm not going to give anything good to hit here. If I end up walking Encarnacion, so be it. I'll set up the double play and take my chances with Escobar.
Now, Escobar hits a lot of balls on the ground, so Wilson, I'm sure, is aware of that. There's a throw to second. Kendrick was standing on the bag, but Rasmus gets back.
Just don't make a mistake if you're going to try and pitch around at Encarnacion. He has hit a lot of pitchers' mistakes this year out of the ballpark.
Whoa. Encarnacion looked like the umpire called it a strike. Now Socha's coming out. That's why Socha's coming out. Say, wait a minute, you called it a strike. I saw the right end go up in the air.
I thought
Socha came out and said, what was that? James Hoy trying to explain the situation, but you saw the hesitation from Encarnacion, and it looked like the umpire raised his right hand up.
James Hoy's having a rough day today. First inning, it looked like he called a strike on Bautista, and then couldn't find the ball, and they had to call him back and do it over again.
Now, Tom Hallion is the crew chief. He came down quickly, and watch the umpire. He raises up that right hand and then says no. Watch this. Watch the umpire's right arm. Raises it up, and then said, no, I didn't mean it. It's a do-over. And now Hallion, the crew chief, is talking to Socha and said, wait a minute.
Is it a strike or isn't it a strike? What caused you to raise your arm in the first place?
But he raised his right arm and then realized it was off the plate. Watch the umpire's right arm here. Yeah, no, I was just kidding. So Encarnacion at first, Rasmus at second.
You know, he raised it, Buck, but I don't think he extended it. I think he raised it and he was ready to extend it and then said, you know what, it's not. He went like that.
Almost like he anticipated it was going to be a strike, and then once he saw it, realized it was well out of the strike zone. So Blue Jays have a chance to tie it up here. They're trailed by a run, 1-0. Escobar had a single to right field his last time up. There go the runners, cut on and missed. Easy throw for the catcher, and Rasmus is tagged out. So the Blue Jays playing hit and run with a guy at the plate that rarely swings and misses, and Escobar swung right through it.
Yeah, he makes a lot of contact also. Very quick to the plate, and once he missed it, the runners are taught when a hit and run like that, don't get picked off. You're not out there to try and steal a base. You're relying on that batter to make contact. That time it backfired on him.
Cut on and missed. Escobar is the second hardest to strike out in the American League. Only Ichiro Suzuki has a lower strikeout rate. Suzuki strikes out 12.2 plate appearances per every strikeout. Escobar's 10.3. Well, he always puts the ball in play.
Yeah, an ideal man for that. An ideal man for the hit and run. And you're right, he does hit a lot of ground balls. He's got a lot of grounded into double plays this year. So they're going to try and stay out of that. Escobar has driven 12 times. He has grounded into a double play.
Two balls, two strikes. Encarnacion at second. And Escobar, 3 swings and misses at C.J. Wilson. He strikes out. Blue Jays leave a base runner. It's 1-0 Angels. Now time for a Hockey Central update brought to you by BlackBerry. Here's Darren Millard. Who are headed to London. A couple of divers, and we are pleased to be joined by Megan Benfeito and Rosalind Filion. Welcome, ladies. You must be excited about the Olympics, just 26 days away.
Yes, getting a little nervous now. Training's been going great, so looking forward to it.
Not only are you teammates, but you're very good friends. And how does that help you get through training?
I mean, it's always a pleasure to dive together. I mean, we go through ups and downs together, so that really helps a lot when we're good friends and we can help each other out.
When you start this process now, you're training right now, the build-up, you've been through this before, so you know what it's all about. What is your mindset now as you prepare for yet another Olympics? Is it a little bit easier when you do it a second time?
I think so. I mean, in 2008, we didn't know what to expect. We hadn't been to the pool in Beijing. We didn't know what it was going to look like. It was our first Olympics. We didn't know what to expect. And now in London, we've been to the pool for the World Cup back in February, so we know exactly what the pool looks like. We're going to go through it all over again. It's going to be another experience, but this time we're ready to compete as potential medalists.
swimsuits. I heard something about swimsuits. You have a little superstition. You want to talk about that or not?
Yes, of course.
Of course.
We have the same suit that we wear every time in finals. We don't wear it in practice to make sure that we don't damage it. And that's the suit we're going to wear in the synchro finals at the Olympics.
And you don't want to take any good look out of it either, do you?
Where did you guys get the suit that you're planning to wear in the finals?
We actually look in the Speedo catalog, and we just decided that was the suit. And we tried the first time in competition. We did an amazing performance. So we were like, well, that's going to be our final suit. We did good. We're going to do it good again.
Pat and I never look in the Speedo catalog. So how long have you been diving together now? You've obviously started diving as very youngsters, and how long have you been a team in synchronized diving?
We've been a team since, I would say, April 2005. We've never looked back. We've always been together. A lot of the teams on the international level always switched every country. There's always either a new team or a new partner. I think we're really the only team that's been together.
We're the oldest team out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Good. Now, let me ask you this. Is it more challenging to dive solo or dive as a synchronized team?
I mean, individually, you have to think about technical stuff, but in synchro, you have to think that there's somebody else with you on the tower, and you have to time yourself. And we see each other in the air, so that's a little challenge, but it's always fun for us to dive together. It's much more fun than individual.
Tell me, did your parents or your family have anything to do with getting you into diving?
Well, I come from a family that's very into sports, and I have an older brother that played baseball and hockey, and yeah, my parents always loved sports, so when I was born, I mean, I had that gene into me, so they put me through gymnastics and diving.
We're going to take a look at the home run by Alberto Callaspo, and here's a guy, Pat, that Blue Jays just haven't been able to get out.
Yeah, a 345 hitter coming into this series in his career versus the Blue Jays, and he's doing some damage again. Homering, two-run home run, and that looks familiar.
High bar grounds out, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the Olympics. When do you make your way to London?
We leave Montreal July 16th. We go to London for 3 or 4 days. We get our Olympic clothing, and then we go off to Plymouth for a training camp of another 3 or 4 days, and back to London for opening ceremonies on the 27th, and diving starts on the 29th. So the 29th through the 11th.
So now, how many events will you be entered in? Just solo 10 meters and synchronized 10 meters?
2, exactly. Yeah.
And now tell us about the process of qualifying rounds. How does that go as you work up toward the medal round?
Well, in the synchro event, it goes straight to finals. I mean, the preliminaries were done at the World Cup in February. Only top 8 would advance to the finals at the Olympics. So we're going to be 8 team. And as the individual, we are 26, I believe, in the preliminaries. Top 18 goes through semifinals, and top 12 goes to finals.
Now, how in the world did you decide you wanted to dive off the 10-meter platform? That's a long way down there.
Well, when we start at our diving club in Montreal, we have to do all the events. We have to do the 1 meter, the 3 meter, and the 10-meter platform. I was decided that I was going to be put on 10 meter back in 2008. My coach said we really have to concentrate on one because I was the diver of both events, of the 3 meter as well. And I think it's just, you have to, if your coach tells you you're better on the 10 meter, you have to do the 10 meter. If your coach tells you you have to do the 3 meter, you do 3 meter. But 10 meter, it is scary. I'm not going to lie, but it's fun. You throw yourself off that 10-meter platform, and it's just an amazing feeling.
I'm sure that you get the adrenaline rush. How about your adrenaline rush when you were standing out on the mound here, throwing out the first pitch?
I was really shy.
You were really shy?
Yes.
You look great.
She was
Here,
good.
we're going to show you.
That's good.
I'm actually not bad because, I mean, my boyfriend plays baseball, so I know how to throw a ball. I was really afraid of not getting to Ricky Romero, but I mean, I practiced, and I was really hoping to get it.
Your boyfriend will be very proud of you because you threw it all the way on the air.
I know. Yay!
Competition now, as you head to the Olympics. Who's the big team that's your stiffest competition?
China.
Yeah, obviously China are the ones to beat. I mean, they've won almost all the events in Beijing except for the men's 10 meter. They're beatable. We did it a couple of times this year, even though it wasn't the A team, but it's possible. Anything can happen at the Olympics.
Oh, that's great. I tell you what, you've been a real joy to have here in the booth, and we're going to keep our eye on you when you go to London. It's going to be a great event for you and for Canada, and I wish I was walking in the opening ceremonies with you, because that's going to be a special time.
Yeah, exactly. And it feels a little bit like the opening ceremony when everybody was singing the national anthem at the opening of the game. It was an amazing feeling.
Rosalind Fillon and Megan Benfeito, we wish you the best, and thanks so much for joining us today, and go Canada. We're going to be photos for you. We'll be looking for you standing on the podium.
Yes.
All right. Thanks a lot, ladies. A couple of great Olympians representing Canada and certainly enjoying their situation, and we're very pleased and happy that they could join us this afternoon on Canada Day.
See, Buck, now we have something to do other than baseball in the summertime. We've got some television to watch.
I'm going to watch the girls. That'll be fun to watch, and hopefully they'll be standing proud at the podium ceremony at the end. 2-2. Mike Trout fouls it right off his foot.
Getting so close to the All-Star game, you don't want a freak injury to happen to knock you out of it. That one right off the shin, just below the knee of Mike Trout. You can see that one ricochet right off his lower leg. That is not a good feeling.
We saw Cody Ross with the Red Sox earlier this year suffer a fractured bone in his foot when he did that. He was out for about a month.
Dustin Pedroia a couple of years ago for the Boston Red Sox fouled a ball off of his leg and missed 6 weeks.
Mike Trout out in front of this pitch and pulls it foul.
He's a tough out. He has a good idea at the plate what he wants to do for such a young player. And just 20 years old. He has just spent a couple of years in the minor leagues and has an outstanding idea at the plate on how to swing that bat.
Named to his first All-Star team earlier this afternoon. Tied Creek, Aaron Laffey with a good pitch on the outside corner. But the Angels score a pair on Albert Callaspo's 2-run home run. They've taken a 3-0 lead. Latest stories from around baseball, visit MLB Mashup blog on sportsnet.ca. Features Shai Davidi and Mike Cormack, and they are always working hard to come up with the latest stories involving the Blue Jays and just exactly what's happening around baseball. Well, we are fortunate to be joined by 4 Olympians headed to London that will represent Canada in the Olympic Games coming up. It all starts on the 27th of July, and I tell you what, 2 Rio cuties, Rosalind Fillon and Megan Benfeito, will be in competition in 10-meter platform diving and synchronized 10-meter diving, and they were fun. They're all excited.
A lot of energy when they came into the booth.
The Jays are down by 3. Have to figure out how to get to C.J. Wilson. Wilson has been on a roll and has certainly lived up to expectations. The Angels signed him as a free agent, and he made it known he wanted to go back to Southern California. That's where he grew up. Went to Loyola Marymount University, played college ball there. Sharply hit on the ground. Ibar throws out Francisco, 1 down.
Watch over 50 years of Honda racing innovation at the Honda Indy Toronto, July 6 to 8. Get tickets at HondaIndy.com.
Right fielder Rajai Davis. Davis popped up to the second baseman his first time. Davis has popped up 4 of his last 5 at bats. Got to get the ball down on the ground. A little more line drive stroke from Davis.
Use that great speed.
Davis tried to utilize that speed with the bunt, but it squirted into foul ground.
Yeah, no pop-ups, no balls in the air unless you're going to knock them over the fence or split the outfielders. Get that line drive stroke. Rajai Davis is the type of player where he doesn't have to hit the ball hard to get a base hit because he runs so well. Just place it somewhere perfectly and beat it out.
Inside. 2-1 to Davis.
C.J. Wilson is doing exactly what a big free agent signing is supposed to do. Win you big ball games. And the Angels need this one. Their pitchers the last couple of days here, the Blue Jay batters have had their way with them. They've lost a couple in a row. They've got a lot of innings out of their bullpen. They need their guy to go deep and win this game as they head to Cleveland after this game. And he's giving them just what Mike Scioscia needs.
Davis pulls it foul. C.J. Wilson has been a stabilizing force for this ball club. In his last 7 starts, he has been outstanding.
How about that? Opponent's batting average under 200, just 1 home run. And again, he has not lost since the Chicago White Sox beat him back on May the 17th.
Breaking ball, and Davis strikes out. That's the 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for C.J. Wilson. Big breaking ball does it.
Starts it over on the left-hand batter's box and brings it all the way back over to the inside part of the plate. That's an ability that certain pitchers have, to be able to spin that curveball. And he's got a good one.
Angel starters in this series, the 3 previous starters, gave up 21 runs on 23 hits in 15 1/3. So Wilson has calmed things down a little bit from the mound for the Angels.
They might have, if they are all throwing like they are capable of, probably the best starting pitching in the American League West. I think their starting pitching might be a little bit better than Texas. Texas is banged up right now with their pitchers. Dan Herron and Irvin Santana haven't thrown the way they have in the past, but when they turn it on in the second half and they go with Pearson and Weaver, that's as good as it gets, I think, in the American League West.
Texas is banged up, obviously, but I'll give you one to take a look at. How about Oakland? The Oakland A's are pitching pretty well.
Tommy Malone
and their bullpen has pitched very well. But it's a situation with the Oakland A's is they always have pitching. Interesting how they come up with it. And they are looking up at the Rangers and the Angels right now. Fouled out of play. How about the Yankees? The Yankees have had a few injuries, and they don't waste any time. They went out and acquired Chad Qualls for a player to be named later or for cash. Qualls was just let go by the Phillies. They put him on the designated for assignment list. They had 10 days to move him, and the Yankees picked up Chad Qualls. Phillies let him go, and he's had a lot of success in the past. This is a high fly ball into center field. Mike Trout calls for it, makes the grab. The Blue Jays go quietly in the bottom of the 5th. C.J. Wilson is shutting out the Jays on just 2 hits. Thank you, Jamie. The Tigers have 3 All-Stars, including Prince Fielder. He will be the starter at first base for the American League. Justin Verlander and Miguel Cabrera have also been named to that All-Star team for the American League. Tampa Bay will send David Price and Fernando Rodney to the American League All-Star game. And no position player.
No position player.
Rodney's had a great year as their closer, and Price has had another outstanding year as the starter. Aaron Laffey throws the first pitch to the top of the 6th for a strike. Boy, Laffey has been impressive. He has fallen behind 3-0, but only allowed 4 hits.
And we can run up some of the numbers that the Los Angeles Angels have put up on the road before they came into this series, and the Blue Jay pitching have really pitched them well. This team was averaging almost 8 runs a game when they came to Rogers Center 4 days ago.
A red-hot team, and they were beaten for back-to-back games in this series, just the second time in the last 35 games. They hadn't lost back-to-back games since way back early in June. They lost to Texas, and then the first game to Seattle, both at home. But since then, last night was the first time they'd lost back-to-back games. That's Jesse Chavez loosening up in the Blue Jays bullpen. Ball is driven to right field. Rajay Davis breaks it down on the track, makes the catch.
On Sportsnet. Brought to you by Samsung. Pursue your passions.
Aaron Laffey went out here in the 6th. He went 6 innings last time out against the Red Sox, and shut out Boston on just 3 hits. During that Boston start, he had a stretch of 12 straight retired.
He had a nice stretch this afternoon where he retired 12 of 13 batters. Gave up the leadoff double to Trouts. And the leadoff double to Ibar, who did not come around to score, and then retired everybody else before that leadoff single last inning by Kendrick. Just does his thing. Sinks his fastball, uses his changeup. Get a lot of ground ball outs. Keep the ball out of the middle of the plate.
He's the kind of left-hander that'll get you talking to yourself. Doesn't throw hard. Nothing is particularly sharp. I mean, there's not a devastating pitch in the mix, but boy, the mix is very effective. And you know what he hasn't done? He's never panicked.
No.
Gets to a count, gets to a rough spot. He continues to stay in his good delivery.
Slider's been good, especially to the right-handers today. He's gotten it off under a couple of their bats.
John Farrell had confidence in Aaron Laffey. We knew him from the Indians days. And Laffey was a guy they brought into spring training and gave an opportunity to him to work as a starter. How about that? He absolutely overpowered Albert Pujols. Second time Pujols has struck out.
Got to be able to have some torque and some depth to that breaking ball if you can get it under a right-hander's bat, especially a bat as hot as Pujols. Stays on top of that one and really pulls it down under the shoe top of Pujols and gets that bat swinging right over the top of it.
Pujols 0 for 7 in the last 2 games. Mark Trumbo. Trumbo will go to his first All-Star game in Kansas City. Talk about C.J. Wilson's delivery. Aaron Laffey's delivery is very sound. Not a lot of extra movement, not a lot of extra effort.
Very sound and very solid. And what that allows him to do is allows him to repeat his delivery. Throw strikes, you see him stay right over the mound and then gets the arm up. And the lower half works together with the upper half.
Threw it right where he wanted it.
Trying to expand that strike zone and getting the home plate umpire James Hoy to punch him out.
Now he's got 2 sides of the plate to work with. Go down and away again or use that breaking ball down and in. Easy play for Laffey. And Laffey bounces back with a 1, 2, 3, 6th inning. He has done a job holding the Angels to just 4 hits. Now the hitters need to come through against C.J. Wilson. Rogers customers have more ways to catch Rogers Sports live coverage of the Blue Jays. Watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. Beautiful day on Lake Ontario, Switzerland. Cheers for the Blue Jays, and that's good news. Blue Jays need some help right now. They're down 3-0. Omar Vizquel will try to get something going against C.J. Wilson. Blue Jays have mustered just 2 hits, and they came in a back-to-back second inning. Edwin Encarnacion, Yunel Escobar, and the Blue Jays couldn't do a thing after that.
Yep, neither one of them could score. Encarnacion was thrown out at second. There was a strikeout and a pop out.
Vizquel batting .226 on the season. Average down to .222 as we speak. He lined out to left, and now he's got a 3-0 count. Well, Blue Jays would love to get him on and turn the lineup over. Brett Lawrie has grounded out twice. Wants to get a good look at C.J. Wilson's delivery. Vizquel takes another strike. It's 3-2. There's the leadoff walk they were looking for. It is Canada Day here at Rogers Center, and a lot of Canadians on hand, and Canadians around baseball are doing pretty well. Toronto's Joey Votto with a .350 average, 14 home runs. Langley, BC's Brett Lawrie. Scott Diamond from Ontario, also a 7-3 record for Minnesota. And he has really had a good year. That's a very impressive .263 ERA.
Have we heard how Joey Votto is? So he took a swing in the game the other day and
wrenched his back.
Back just a little bit. I hope he's okay so he can get in that All-Star game. I love watching him hit.
Yeah, he's a good hitter.
Oh, really.
And a great ambassador for the game, and Brett Lawrie, maybe ambassador or prime minister for Lawrie. Right now, we'd like to see him get a hit. Get on base, keep the pressure on C.J. Wilson.
We have seen those leadoff walks this year come around to score. C.J. Wilson has walked 3 batters now this afternoon, and Mike Butcher sees something in his delivery that he wants to talk about.
C.J. Wilson's only thrown 4 first pitch strikes, 19 batters. He hasn't been ahead very often, but he's been able to come back and make quality pitches. So Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, came out with a short message for C.J. Wilson, trying to get him back in that strike zone.
Ideally, they are looking for 7 innings from Wilson. You talk about the pitch count being elevated, 83 right now in the 6th inning. This inning, next inning, and then he can turn it over to Scott Downs and Ernesto Frieri. That's the plan right now.
Brett Lawrie fouls it into the seats along the right field foul line.
Maybe the core 4 will have something to say about that after the leadoff walk to Vizquel.
Well, they certainly have the ability. They can strike in a hurry. He mentioned the one thing that is good for C.J. Wilson. He's kept the ball in the ballpark. He's allowed just 5 home runs, and that's such a big part of the Blue Jays offense. Well, he shoots it down the right side, but that'll slice into the seats as well.
One of those curveballs is coming here shortly, I think, from Wilson. And that's one part of Brett Lawrie's game that he is doing a little bit better job of. Hitting that breaking ball. Smoked the ball into the gap in Miami on a good breaking ball, and then got a single to center field the other day off a good sharp breaking ball.
Brett Lawrie has 87 hits And there's that breaking ball. He laid off it, saw it very well. At the start of play today, Laurie was tied for 12th with Paul Konerko for hits in the American League. Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers started out play this afternoon with 99 hits. So Laurie is right up there, just on the outer limits of the top 10. Base hit for left field. Vizquel will move to second. Here come the Jays.
Another breaking ball. C.J. Wilson was going to try and get him thinking fastball, but he's starting to hit that breaking ball hard. Watch how he stays back, lets it come into his zone, and then he rips it into left field. If he could have got that ball elevated, he would have left the ballpark. But a good swing right there by Laurie.
Now here's where the Fab Four have done their thing. Laurie gets his base hit after Vizquel had a leadoff walk, and now number 2 in the Fab Four, Colby Rasmus.
We have seen Rasmus drop bugs down in these situations right here. So good at it. And that's the third baseman, Ty Espo. He has seen the same types of scouting reports. He was in at third base.
Outside, Blue Jays did a good job of making C.J. Wilson throw it over the center. The Angels infield is really unusual in that they're shallow for a double play. And this is a hot surface in day games. That ball will skip right through the infield, but they've really limited their range by playing such a shallow double play defense.
Very, very fast surface on days like today.
3-0. Bautista standing on deck.
I think you got to take a couple of strikes here. That is LaTroy Hawkins, who has grabbed the baseball and starting to get loose very quickly for Mike Scioscia. Take a couple of strikes here, make him throw it over.
You bet. One for sure. There's a strike. Right now, you give Rasmus the ability to think about keyhole. Get one pitch in one zone. Try to do some damage, but other than that, take everything that's on the edges.
If you like the ball in and he throws it there, see if you can tie the ball game up. If it's not there, go ahead and take it.
Bases are loaded. 2 walks in the inning. C.J. Wilson wants to know where it was.
What the crowd needed, a couple of walks and a single to get them fired up. In the last one, C.J. Wilson wants to know where it is. It looks like it's down. It's called down by Hoy, but watch Wilson. After the pitch, he gets it back. He asks him, where was it? Up, down? Was it in? Was it out?
Hoy very subtly shaking his head to say no. Bases loaded for Bautista. Fouled straight back. Jays are down by 3. Number 3 of the Fab Four with a chance to do some damage. Vizquel at third, Laurie at second, Rasmus at first. On the ground. Booted by Kendrick. 1 runs in. Now you got 2 runners hung up, and now they're going to go to the plate. Here's the throw to the plate. And Laurie's safe. He is still safe, and now Scioscia's going to argue. Mike Scioscia is irate. Laurie scores. It's a 3-2 game.
from what we saw, the bang-bang play at home, first of all, it didn't look like Brett Laurie touched home. And I think Mike Scioscia is saying the same thing. And then it also looked like the catcher held onto the ball. He had the ball. Brett Laurie ran into him, ran over the plate. Scioscia's going to get thrown out of this game. And that's the argument. Blue Jays might have caught a break.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Hoy made the safe sign, which indicates at home that the runner touched home. If he didn't touch home, umpires won't make any call.
They won't make any call. And Brett Laurie went back to tag home play. Mike Scioscia might have an argument on two fronts. A, that the catcher caught the ball and tagged him because Laurie tried to jar the ball loose. B, he missed home plate, and the catcher tagged him when he went back. But when it's all said and done, it's going to be second and third, 2 runs in, nobody out, and Edwin Encarnacion at the plate.
Tom Hallion is still talking to Mike Scioscia, who's been ejected. And the home plate umpire, James Hoy, has had a rough day. A couple of calls, Bautista striking out, he calls it a foul ball. He appeared to call a strike on Edwin Encarnacion. And this is the play. Looked like a double play possibility. Kendrick boots it. And then the throw to the plate. Laurie crashes into the catcher. He never tagged him. The glove never tagged Laurie. Laurie hit his arm, but the glove was not tagging Laurie at all. So that's what the umpire called. Mike Butcher seems to be hollering at the Blue Jays dugout. Watch the glove of the catcher.
High throw to the catcher.
He never tagged Laurie. And then he's going to get up, and Laurie gets back to home plate.
Here it is again. High throw. He goes in, and he hits him. It looked like the glove hit the shoulder of Laurie when he was coming down, but he can't take any chances of that. Safe at the plate.
Still nobody out. Butcher, Dino Ebel, and Rob Pichilo now in charge of the Angels. Scioscia's been ejected. Second and third. Rasmus at third. Bautista at second. It's a 1-run game. And that's got the fans fired up. Two and 0. One more look at the tag at home. The glove, I don't think he ever tagged him with the glove. Well, the umpire indicated safe initially.
Yeah, right away he called safe.
Yep. Watch Laurie's foot. Does he tag home? Didn't look like he touched home at all. So he goes back. He beats Hester back to home plate. But he never tagged him in my mind as Laurie just kind of armbarred that glove away from him. Wilson has lost it this inning. Couple of walks. Gave up a single to Laurie. And he was dealing. Bases loaded again. Bob Pichilo, the acting manager, has just called for the bullpen. C.J. Wilson will be lifted with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brett Laurie scored the 2nd run of the inning. Wilson will turn things over to the bullpen. Troy Hawkins, the right-hander, will come on when we come back. him up. And now Farrell is talking to Laurie about what went on at home plate, and for some reason the Angels are jawing back and forth with the Blue Jays dugout. Blue Jays got hung up on the bases. That was the problem. Laurie was stopped at third while Rasmus had gone all the way to third. They had two base runners near third base, and then Laurie broke for home.
Yeah, he didn't see that the ball was booted by Kendrick into the outfield, stopped at third, then he had to go. And he knew it was going to be close at the plate. There's the boot by Kendrick. He throws it to Ibar, the shortstop, back at second base. Now, at this point, he knows that there's going to be a collision at the plate. It's a high throw. His only plan was to try and jar the ball loose from the catcher. And then scores the run after he's called safe.
So the new pitcher is the right-hander, veteran LaTroy Hawkins. Hawkins worked in the opener of this series on Thursday night. Pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 hits and an earned run. Bases loaded, still nobody out. Yunel Escobar looks at a breaking ball down and away. Well, you want a little fireworks on Canada today, you got them right here at Rogers Center. Some will be coming up across Canada a little later tonight.
A lot of them happening right now.
Rasmus at third, Bautista at second, Encarnacion at first. The bases are loaded.
Fastball on the inner half. That earned run that Hawkins gave up snapped the streak of 8 innings.
Adam Lind has come out on deck. There is not a left-hander throwing in the Angels bullpen. Here's the 1-1 pitch. In the dirt. Angels scored a single run. It was unearned in the first inning off Aaron Laffey. Then they had a 2-run home run in the 5th off the bat of Alberto Callaspo. It was 3-0 at the beginning of the bottom of the 6th, and the Blue Jays got a leadoff walk, a single, a walk, and then the air by Kendrick led to 2 runs. Little looper toward right. Hunter coming in, tagging at third is Rasmus. Here's the throw to the plate, and Rasmus is out. Torrey Hunter made a good throw to the plate. John Hester, the catcher, held his ground and tagged out Colby Rasmus.
The Angels were out here the other day working with Mike Scioscia and Hester, the catcher, on these types of plays right here, blocking the dish. Watch how he catches it and just kneels right in front of the plate, blocking off Rasmus at the plate. Tough to run on Torrey Hunter, but that's how you block the plate right there. Get your knees down in front of the plate, make him go around you or through you. Hunter leads this team in an outfield assist. This is number 5, and it's a strike to the plate.
That was textbook by the catcher. John Hester came up the line about a foot in front of home plate and dropped a knee and threw up a roadblock. Torrey Hunter delivered a good strong throw, and Rasmus was out at the plate. The base runners did not move up on the play, so Bautista still at second, Encarnacion at first. Adam Lind will pinch hit for Ben Francisco. Upstairs.
The Angels had a pickoff play on at second base. And if Hawkins would have read it, they might have had a shot at Bautista. Ibar was standing at the bag when that pitch was delivered to Lind.
Ball on a strike. It's a 3-2 ball game. Angels have scored 3 runs on 4 hits. The Blue Jays have scored 2 runs on 3 hits. Pitching has dominated this game.
Leadoff walk again for the Blue Jays, paying off. Vizquel coming around to score.
And fouls it off. Adam Lynn was the DH in last night's game. He was 0 for 3 with a walk. He had a 2-homer game on Friday night. He drove in 4 runs with a 3-run homer and a solo shot. Throw to second. Bautista just sneaks his hand in on the bat.
They are one of the best, I think, in baseball at doing that. They know that Bautista's got to get a good secondary lead. So it's a good time to put that pickoff play on. It's a timing play between the shortstop and the pitcher. Throw right on target, but Bautista gets back.
Just foul down the third baseline. Adam Lynn has 2 pinch hit home runs in his career. He's only had 27 career pinch hit at bats. He's a .296 pinch hitter.
Looking for his first one of the season right here. This would be a big one. Outfield very deep. With Lynn at the plate. Base hits, almost a guaranteed run.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Ground ball. Big hop for Howie Kendrick, and that'll get the Angels out of the inning. But the Blue Jays scored 2 runs on just 1 hit, couple of walks, and an Angel there. It's a 1-run ball game.
Right now, the Blue Jays fans are going to get
Blue Jays. Again, he goes 6 innings, allowed just 4 hits. 2 of the 3 runs allowed were earned. He didn't walk a batter and struck out 4. Another solid start from Aaron Laffey.
Yep, the Angel hitter's off balance, using his curveball, his changeup effectively, and using his fastball. John Farrell gets 6 innings out of him, no walks and 4 strikeouts. So he returned to the bullpen, and out of the bullpen, here comes Luis Perez. There are his numbers through 32 games, 2-2 with a .326 earned run average for Perez. He's held lefties just with .211 batting average. First batter he faces Kendrys Morales, who's going to turn him around.
So Perez will pitch. Adam Lind, who pinch hit for the left fielder Ben Francisco, will take over defensively at first. The first baseman Edwin Encarnacion moves to left. Henrys Morales. He's grounded out twice this afternoon. Once to short, once to third. Brand new ball game. It's a 3-2 Angels lead.
How about that inning? A little bit of everything in the bottom of the sixth inning.
Well, how about the veteran Omar Vizquel leading off the inning, needing to get on base? He worked C.J. Wilson for the walk. He set the tone, and Brett Lawrie battled and got a single. That was the only hit of the inning.
Take what they give you. That's what the offense has been doing over the last month or so. And now they need some shutdown innings. Perez worked in yesterday's game just an inning, 1-2-3 inning. Didn't throw too many pitches, so was able to come back this afternoon.
14 pitches in that game yesterday.
This is an inning, I think, for the Blue Jays. That seventh inning where they need a guy who is a shutdown type of guy. They feel like they have the eighth and the ninth inning covered right now out of the bullpen. But these close games, these one-run games, either way, leading or behind, that seventh inning is such a key inning.
Perez will start. Perez strikes out Morales.
Watch over 50 years of Honda racing innovation at the Honda Indy Toronto, July 6th to 8th. Get tickets at HondaIndy.com.
Howie Kendrick had a leadoff single in the fifth. He came in to score on Callaspo's two-run homer. They make a great point about the seventh inning. And John Farrell feels very comfortable about Oliver, Frazier, and Cordero in the eighth. Any combination of those three, and then Casey Janssen then lights out as the closer, ninth inning guy. But that seventh inning where you maybe give up a run, it might extend you by a run. But those are the innings that really kill you.
If you can find a veteran guy or a guy who can just shut you down for that seventh inning. If your starter can only go six, you do another inning of a zero put up there.
Fly ball into left, and Encarnacion will play it off the bounce. And Kendrick has his second hit of the afternoon. Little flare jam shot into left.
Single to center field last time up. This time it looked like a slider on the inner half, and he's fooled, he's jammed. Encarnacion's got to play it safe in the outfield. He hasn't been out there that much. He had to play it safe and play it on the bounce. Encarnacion has only been out there for one game, one start this year.
Alberto Callaspo goes after the first pitch and pops it into shallow center field. Colby Erasmus is there, makes the catch. Great crowd on hand this afternoon at Rogers Center. 34,853 for Canada Day. And they've been entertained. It's a good ball game. Blue Jays currently trail by a run, 3-2. A great way to spend the afternoon.
What a day to come down to the ballpark like today, spend a couple of hours outside before the 3 o'clock first pitch, and now you're being entertained to a great ball game. This one's going to go down to the wire, I think.
Eric Ibar, the shortstop. Ibar doubled in the third, but he was left stranded as Aaron Laffey retired the next three batters. All right, goes after that inside pitch.
Handles the lefties as a switch hitter. Handles the lefties a little bit better. 295 from the versus the left-hander this year. He had a great month of June also. Hitting only Alcides Escobar for shortstops in the American League had a higher batting average than Ibar.
Bottom of the strike, 2 down. Blue Jays, with that Lynn pinch hit appearance in the bottom of the 6th, they're now down to 2 position players on the bench. How long can the Jays go with 8 men in their bullpen?
Well, I know that they'd like to trade one of those pitchers for an extra man. It just really makes the manager hamstrung, being able to make moves with that bench.
Especially in a game like this, it's a 1-run game. You get into a position where, say, Aaron Sebia hits a double. Then you want a pinch run for him. You don't have anybody to run. You could run Mathis.
Yeah, you could run Mathis, and that's always the last guy standing, I think. Your backup catcher for that day. That's the guy that you don't want to use unless you absolutely have to, because if something happens to him and the game goes extra innings, then you're really up the creek. That's why I thought Yan Gomes was such a good player for his team. He could play multiple positions. He could come off the bench and swing the bat, but he was your third catcher also. Then you're not afraid to go to your bench. You can run for your catcher.
He can play in the outfield, he can play in the corners, and he can catch. 1-2 to Ibar. Inside, it's 2-2. The Blue Jays are going to have to get an extra player. You can't go with an 8-man bullpen, and the bullpen's going to have to sort itself out. But that all starts with starting pitchers.
Yeah, and it could happen after the All-Star break. Blue Jays have 4 days off, and you can catch your break and maybe go back to your 7-man bullpen. That should give you plenty of rest.
Anderson Alvarez with a 7-inning outing yesterday. That has been a rarity lately for the Blue Jays. Outside, it's a full count. And J.P. Arancibia trying to get Adam Lynn's attention. Now Lynn will move back behind the base runner. But nope, now he's going to move him on the bag. No reason to give Kendrick a big lead at first. He's going to be off on the pitch. Full count, 2 outs. He walked him. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Well, that was a big walk to the number 8 hitter. He got ahead of Eric Ibar and let him off the hook. Kendrick's at second. John Hester is the batter, the catcher. He's gone 0 for 2. But Hester hit a home run on Friday night, a 2-run homer. He's got some power, 3 home runs.
4 RBIs. All those RBIs coming on home runs this year.
Perez really came out of his delivery, and that ball wasn't close.
Ever since he jumped ahead of Ibar, it's like he's trying to throw the ball a little bit harder, and he is missing his spots.
Got that ball past John Hester. It's 1-2. Perez strikes out Hester. 2 strikeouts in the inning. The Angels lead a pair. Blue Jays are down 3-2. Membership includes a baseball, hat, pen, and an invitation to exclusive autograph sessions with the Blue Jays. Membership cost is only $19.99, so go to BlueJays.com/kids, or you can call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1715 for the Junior Jays Club. Sign up today. Junior Jays Saturday, always a great time here at Rogers Center. New pitcher for the Angels will be the veteran Jason Isringhausen. Isringhausen making his 29th appearance of the season.
Pretty good numbers for the veteran. He doesn't throw like he did when he was with the Mets when he first came up, but he has learned how to pitch. Cuts the ball just a little bit more. He still has that great curveball. 2-0 with a 233 earned run average. Both righties and lefties hitting under 200 against Isringhausen this year. This is his 18th season in the big leagues, his first with the Angels.
7-8-9 for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 7th. Rajay Davis. He's got to figure out a way to get on base. Ball and a strike. Blue Jays are down by a run. The infield at the corners guarding against the bunt.
And in the middle also, look how they have shortened up with Rajay Davis at the plate. Anything hit slow, he's going to make you hurry up. These kind of players at the plate, when you're on defense, they make you be almost perfect. Because if you boot the ball, or if you lay back on the ball just a little bit, or if you don't get off to a strong throw with that type of speed, they'll be on first base.
Foul ball off his foot right in front of home plate. Angels are aware they got to keep Davis off the bases as well. That ball bounced up and hit him on the leg. So it's a foul ball. Isringhausen now 39 years old. Started out with the Mets. Came to the big leagues in 1995 as a starter. Davis is hanging tough.
He knows all about that big overhead curveball that Jason Isringhausen has. He's been doing it for a lot of years. He was with the Cardinals back in the early 2000s and had a season of 47 saves. So these kind of games don't faze him at all.
Led the league in saves and appearances that year for the Cardinals as he had an opponent's batting average under 200. Up and in, and Davis was guarding against the breaking ball and was late bailing out.
Yeah, that is a really bad feeling at the plate when you're trying to cover that outside part of the plate and they buzz you with this right here. It looked like he tried to cut a fastball, got away from him. Threw right under his chin.
Two balls, two strikes. Davis is putting up a battle. Remember years ago with the Mets, they had 3 can't-miss starters. Jason Isringhausen, Paul Wilson, and Bill Pulsifer.
They were the next wave of great pitchers that were going to anchor the New York Mets for years and years. Isringhausen made it. But he made it as a reliever.
Yeah, he got hurt, missed the entire '98 season with the Mets. And a good hack by Rajay Davis. Then Isringhausen came back as a reliever with Oakland. Had that great year in St. Louis. Then he's bounced around. St. Louis, Tampa Bay a little bit in 2009, just 9 games. Then he went back to the Mets last year. Pitched in 53 games and pitched well.
300 saves to his credit.
Popped up. Pujols coming down from first will get there and make the grab.
Another pop-up for Rajay Davis. 2 more this afternoon.
The catcher, J.P. Arancibia, will get his first look at Jason Isringhausen. Almost 35,000 on hand today here at Rogers Center to celebrate Canada's Day. J.P. Arancibia high and deep to left. Home run, J.P. We are all tied.
That will certainly give the crowd something to cheer about. Not waiting around, looking for a first pitch down. He's a very good low ball hitter. Isringhausen throws a breaking ball down, and we are all tied.
Omar Vizquel shows bunt, takes a strike. Omar got things started last inning with a leadoff walk. He came around to score the first Blue Jay run. J.P. Arancibia has knotted it all up. 3-3. His 11th homer of the season. It's the 7th home run the Blue Jays have hit in this series. Brett Laurie on deck, singled and scored in the 6th. Popped up left side of the infield. Shortstop takes it, and Ibar makes the catch. The Angels appeared to be upset with Brett Laurie after that collision at the plate with John Hester, the catcher. That was in the 6th inning. Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, is on the phone with the bullpen. Oh, a good cut on that fastball. Hester made a great play on a tag at the plate of Colby Rasmus. the back end of a 9-2 double play. Corey Hunter with a great throw from right. Breaking ball on the ground. Ibar, it's short. In time, and the inning is over. But J.P. Arancibia with one out against Jason Isringhausen, his first at bat against the Angel right-hander, and he goes deep. Home run number 11. It's a 3-3 game. Good times are waiting. Please enjoy it responsibly.
First inning, Mike Trout is on second base. There's going to be a fly ball to right field. He is going to hang up on this fly ball, and when Rajay Davis drops it, watch him. He never looks back. He keeps his eye right on his third base coach, Ebo, and he is able to score the first run of the game. Mike Trout using that good speed to his advantage. That's our smart play this afternoon.
And Trout will lead things off, and he will face a new pitcher for the Blue Jays. It'll be Francisco Cordero. Luis Perez gave up a single and a walk, but he also struck out there. He had two base runners on, and now Cordero comes on in this tie game.
Cordero's numbers going down as he pitches a little bit more, 3 and 4 with a 450 earned run average. Last time we saw Cordero for the Blue Jays, we saw him a couple of nights ago. 2/3 of an inning, just gave up one hit. He got a base hit, then a double play grounded by Morales to get out of that inning in a game that the Blue Jays will win 7-5.
Mike Trout doubled and scored in his first at bat. That was the smart play we showed you. Trout had his 11-game hit streak snapped last night. He picked up a hit in his first at bat here this afternoon.
That was the longest hit streak by a rookie this year. But again, since he has been put into that leadoff spot, he has energized this offense, just like Brett Lawrie has. Since May the 1st, 48 runs scored, which leads him to the major leagues.
Cordero ahead 0-2. Missed downstairs. 1-2. Was a strike. Started to walk off the mound and didn't get the call.
Yeah, he wanted it, but I think it was off the plate. Good job by Arancibia to try and pull it back in for the home plate umpire. He set up on the outside part of the plate. You see right at the last second, pulls it in for him.
Mike Trout high and deep to center field. Rasmus looking up. Home run, Mike Trout. His 9th of the season, and the Angels are back out in front.
Bat control at the plate, strike zone awareness, and a short swing. That's going to give you the type of numbers that we have seen from Mike Trout. 9 home runs, 33rd RBI. Watch the approach. It's a breaking ball. He stays right behind him with 2 hands. Drives that ball to the deepest part of the ballpark.
That high breaking ball right about letter high, and he hammered it off the facing of the Windows Restaurant in center field. A double and a home run. He scored 2 of the 4 Angel runs.
Good hitters, you want to get them up as many times as possible. And with that kind of speed and that average, fits perfectly in the number 1 hole.
Obviously, he looks like he's going to be a 3-hitter. He's got power and speed and average, and that's where you want your best hitter. Started play today tied with Paul Konerko at 336 for the batting lead in the American League, and now his average up to 339. Torrey Hunter pops it up behind the home plate. Aaron Sevilla gets there. That's the first time of the inning.
That's a nice problem to have if you're Mike Scioscia, isn't it? He's got Albert Pujols on your team. He's going to hit number 3rd as long as he is here. But you've also got Mike Trout, I agree with you. He'd be a perfect number 3 hitter. Good average, home runs, he's got power, he's got speed.
Yeah, you can see Pujols hitting 4th and Trumbo hitting 3rd on this team. And I mean, Trout hitting 3rd. Then you put Trumbo in the 5th spot. That's a tough stretch for any pitcher. But right now, Trout is perfect in that leadoff spot. Torrey Hunter was talking about that. So they haven't had a leadoff hitter since Sean Figgins signed with the Mariners as a free agent.
That guy who can create things, both with his bat and with his leg. And he can create it. He created that first run of the ball game with his legs, scoring from second on that fly ball to right field.
Pujols gets a base hit through the left side. Sharp single to left. That's his first hit of the afternoon.
That stops him. 0 for 7 streak for Pujols at the hands of Blue Jay pitching. Sharply in the left field.
Pujols at first with 1 out. Mark Trumbo. Francisco Cordero on in relief of Perez. Luis Perez worked an inning. There's a strike. Just off the inside corner. High and deep to left field. Mark Trumbo has just gone deep. A 2-run home run. It's a 6-3 Angel lead.
You were just talking about the middle of the lineup of the Angels is a tough sledding for pitching. When you talk about Trout, Pujols, and now Trumbo. Trumbo had a great June. 27 RBIs, just 3 shy of the club record set by Vladimir Guerrero with swings like this. He just muscles the ball out of the ballpark. That's 20 home runs now. Just the 10th time in Angel history that a player has reached 20 home runs by the All-Star break.
Includes an awful lot of good players.
Watch him just attack this ball. He's got power to all fields, and when he can get the head of the bat out on a pitch like that, not coming back.
Trumbo, just like Trout, hits with power, hits for an average. And they've got a nice blend of experienced players and young first and second year players.
He and Josh Hamilton are the only batters that are in the top 10 in all three of the Triple Crown categories: batting average, home runs, and RBIs. The only two in the American League.
Kendrys Morales fouls it off. It's 3-1. There's the opposite ends of the spectrum with experience. Pujols started his career in 2001. Trumbo started last year. And they are putting up big numbers again. Morales hits it hard, and Encarnacion is going to watch it sail over his head. Morales is headed for second, and he'll get there standing up. That's the fourth hit of the inning off of Francisco Cordero.
Tom Farrell is out. And he has already signaled to the bullpen.
A tough afternoon for Francisco Cordero. Gives up 4 hits, including 2 home runs. The pitching change when we come back. Blue Jays trail 6-3. Chavez just made a couple of starts on those 4 games. This will be his 5th appearance.
He's pitched really well out of the bullpen for the Blue Jays. A couple of long relief outings, and he has piled up some strikeouts. 12 strikeouts in those 8 innings coming out of the bullpen for the Blue Jays. There are his numbers: 11 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Howie Kendrick pops it up over near the Angels dugout. Lind is there, makes the catch. Adam Lind came on as a pinch hitter in the bottom of the 6th, and makes a good catch to retire Howie Kendrick.
Stayed right with it. He kept checking to see where that wall was. It was in a good spot for him. Stay right with it.
Two-run home run made it a 3-0 game. That came back in the 5th. Ball on the strike. The Angels haven't seen a lot of Jesse Chavez. Ball runs up and away. 2-1.
He pitched the last day of that long road trip before we opened up this homestand in Boston. He picked up Ricky Romero through 3 innings, had 5 strikeouts against the Red Sox. I was talking to him after the game. He felt like he had a good breaking ball that day, but anytime he elevated it, they seemed to hit it. He said, Jesse, you only gave up 3 hits in 3 innings, had 5 strikeouts. He executed some nice pitches that afternoon.
Boston will do that. You make a mistake, and that lineup will wear you out. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 3 runs in this inning for the Angels. A solo shot by Mike Trout and a 2-run home run by Mark Trumbo. Quite a tandem of young players the Angels have with Trout and Trumbo.
TNT.
And they're headed to the All-Star game.
They're like a box of TNT when they stand in that batter's box.
Full count. Callaspo at the plate. Callaspo's just a good hitter. He never really tries to do too much. He protects the strike zone with 2 strikes. He's had his best numbers in his career against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and you watch him and you go, wow, this guy can play. He can hit, he can hit power, he makes plays defensively, and you look at his stats, he's hitting 260.
Yeah.
Almost 100 points higher versus the Blue Jays.
Strike 3 call. Callaspo called out on the borderline pitch. Chavez comes out of the bullpen and leaves a base runner on. But the Blue Jays have fallen behind 6-3. Now it's time for a Hockey Central update brought to you by BlackBerry. Here's Darren Malloy. Today, waving the towels, trying to rally the troops. The Blue Jays have fallen behind by 3. It's a 6-3 Angel lead. Ernesto Frieri will come out of the bullpen to start the 8th. He has been their closer, and he has done a terrific job. Look at the numbers. He has been lights out for the Angels.
Silly numbers. Lefties 059, righties 105, 15 strikeouts per 9 innings. Get a lot of ground ball outs. It's basically, here's my fastball, here's my slider, let's see if we can hit it. And so far this year, nobody has been able to figure it out in the American League. Perfect 10 for 10 and save opportunities. And if he's going to get 11th, he's got to get 6 outs. Mike Trout moves over from center field. Peter Borges has come into the ball game, taking over for Mark Trumbo in the lineup. He will play center field, pushing Trout over to left field. So a lot of speed and a lot of good arms in the outfield now. Angels putting their best defensive team on the field now with the lead.
Blue Jays one more time through the Fab Four, trying to get back in this game again. Well, Erasmus takes his strike. Jose Bautista on deck. Bautista picked up an RBI in his last at bat. He now has 63 for the season. Frieri made his first appearance as an Angel on the 5th of May. Came in, got an inning of work, and we thought, okay, it's a nice arm. He's all right. Probably shore up their bullpen a little bit, but we had no idea, nor did the Angels, that he was going to be as effective as he has been. Ball in the strike, cut on and missed. Frieri is pitching for the 24th time for the Angels. He's allowed 6 hits in 23 in the 3rd innings, and he struck out 40. Strikeout per 9 inning ratio about 15.4.
Not too shabby. Here it is. Here's my fastball. Let's see you hit it. All 16 road outings have been scoreless this season. And you mentioned those 40 strikeouts. 40 strikeouts, no earned runs in his first 23 innings with a new club. The only major leaguer to ever say he can do that.
Yeah, anytime you're in a category where they say you're the first to do it, that's always something pretty good. The first major leaguer with 40 strikeouts and no earned runs in his first 23 plus appearances. Asked Mike Scioscia about Frieri. I said, Mike, what's the secret? He says he's got a fastball that just disappears. Hitters don't see it. Breaking ball, it's been okay. But that's not the pitch that he relies on. He leans heavily on that fastball.
He had an at bat against Bautista the other night, his first night in here, where he was just pumping fastball after fastball, challenging him with his heater. And then when he got to 3-2, dropped the curveball on. Thought he had a strikeout, but it was just off the plate. He ended up walking him. But I love how he went right after him. He used his fastball and said, okay, Bautista, let me see you hit my best pitch.
That was in a 2-run game. The Angels had scored a run in the top of the ninth. That made it 9-7. Bautista walked with 1 out. That loaded the bases. And then Frieri was able to get Edwin Encarnacion to hit into a game-ending double play, 6-4-3.
This guy throws 100 miles an hour, or so it seems. Awfully tough to pick up the baseball right now with the shadows right over home plate and the pitcher's mound. Look at that. Tough to pick the ball up with that sun right behind the pitching mound. Guy throws as hard as he does.
Foul straight back, and my partner caught it. He had it all the way. Let the sheer guy have it. I think that's the first one we've had all year.
1 for 1, big man.
Never doubt. I had no doubts. Bautista, fair ball. Callaspo bounces it wide of the mark. Bautista will head for second. It's a base hit and an error on the third baseman. Callasco threw it wide at first. Pujols had no chance to flag it down. Bautista is credited with a base hit. Ends up at second on the air.
Callasco makes a nice play to his backhand. He's got a lot more time, but he doesn't set his feet, and that's why that ball ends up down the right field line. He's got more time because the ball was hit so hard. Watch him just turn, slip, and here goes the ball. His 6th error of the season. Blue Jays keep it going.
Yeah, Callasco never got his feet underneath him, and he had no chance to make a good throw there. He had a little more time than he thought. Let's see if the Blue Jays can't take advantage.
Ooh.
He's got that elbow pad on today, and a good thing.
I hope he got hit in the elbow.
And he tosses it aside. So Encarnacion has been hit again. And he'll go to first base. But the good news is that brings the tie run to the plate.
He was hit here the other day. That's why the elbow pad is on there, and that's exactly where he gets hit. If he doesn't have that black elbow pad on right there, that elbow could have been broken, but he just shrugs it off. Anderson Alvarez helping him on with that pad right above the elbow and right across that elbow that sticks out.
7th time this season that Encarnacion has been hit. Yunel Escobar. We'll take any kind of rally cap. We don't care. Red and white wig, cowboy hat. Whatever it takes. Escobar needs a hit. 0-1, 1 out. Upstairs. Adam Lind is on deck. The left-hander came up to pinch hit in the 6th. 1 out. Bautista took a little extra secondary lead, and Frieri saw him in the corner of his eye and stepped off.
You know, that's not the guy they should be worrying about. The guy they should be worrying about is standing at the plate. Escobar has had a great series against the Angels.
Fouls that ball off. Escobar is 1 for 3 this afternoon. In the series, he is 6 for 15.
He's got to get Frieri to get the ball down. He's a very good low ball hitter. His swing lengthens out higher in the strike zone. Gets a little bit longer.
Into right field, Torrey Hunter makes the diving catch. Bautista gets back and they throw it away. And now Bautista is headed for third, and Encarnacion moves up. Nobody was at first. Hunter went back to first base and threw it right over the bat. Bautista had tagged halfway and gone back to second.
Torrey Hunter expected Albert Pujols to be at first base, but Pujols made a move. Remember, there's runners on first and second. He is playing behind the runner, and he made a move towards that little dunker into right field, so he couldn't get back. There's Pujols behind Encarnacion. Makes the move and then just stands there. Hunter thinks he's going to be there, comes up throwing to first base to try and double up Encarnacion. Then he throws it away. That allows Bautista to move up and allows Encarnacion to move up.
That's the third Angel air of the afternoon. And Hunter was flabbergasted. Nobody was at first. Bautista slips, goes back and dives into second. Then when the ball gets past first base, he moves to third. Encarnacion followed him into second.
This is Pujols again playing way off the line and behind the runner. He just stands there and becomes a spectator, thinking that they're going to throw the ball to second base, but there's nobody at first.
Pujols never moved. He was just playing traffic cop. He was pointing to second, and then he went, "Don't throw it to first. There's nobody there."
He made a move when the ball was hit. He kind of like leaned over and pointed up to where the ball was, and then just sat there and watched Hunter do his thing.
0-2 to Lind. 2 outs. You can see the catcher, John Hester, wanting that ball up in the zone. Lind had a pair of home runs here on Friday night.
One on a breaking ball from Irvin Santana that he pulled, one on a fastball from Takahashi that he went the other way with.
There he strikes him out. He strands runners at second and third and keeps it a 3-1 lead for the Angels. Frieri with a pair of strikeouts in the inning, throws the fastball by Lind to end it. In Kansas City in the MLB All-Star Week, which features the Home Run Derby on Monday night. It's presented by Honda. July 9th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time right here on Sportsnet. You can watch Jose Bautista in that home run contest. And then the All-Star Game itself takes place on Tuesday. And you can see it all right here on Sportsnet. Jose Bautista will start in the outfield for the American League.
As soon as they name the team, home run derby team, we got to pick a guy who we think is going to win it. They haven't picked it yet.
Well, Cano's going to be involved. Matt Kemp will be involved. Bautista said he's been approached and he assumes to be participating in the home run contest.
Does anybody want it back to back? We'll look into that. We'll let everybody know.
Oh, who won? Kemp won last year? Cano won last year, yeah. You think Adam Dunn's going to get involved?
Adam Dunn has to get involved.
Yeah. He's got the perfect swing for a home run contest.
Maybe they can talk Josh Hamilton of getting it back in.
Bouncing ball. Laurie bare hands it across the diamond. Boy, what a play, but Ibar outran the throw. How did you make that play?
I don't know. I don't know how you make that play. It's the only way he could make the play. Inside out swing by Ibar. Chunks it over the bag at third base. Watch Laurie plant his right foot, grab it with his bare hand, and make a strong, accurate throw. But Ibar, like you said, just outruns the baseball. That's the only way that Brett Laurie was going to make that play right there.
And the throw's right on the money. Ibar just runs too well. Infield hit. That starts the top of the ninth. John Hester squares to bunt. Bunts it right back to Chavez. He's going to second and throws it into center. Ibar tagged second base. Looked like he missed it initially, then tagged it before he left as Hester drops the sacrifice bunt down and Jesse Chavez throws it into center.
Anytime that you can get that pitcher involved, because they just don't practice it every day. Get him involved. Ball goes back to Chavez, and he had a chance to turn a double play. Comes up throwing, and he cuts that fastball, throws it into center field. There's the Ibar tag at second base.
Well, Blue Jays have committed 2 errors here this afternoon, and the Angels have made 3. Mike Trout has had another great day at the plate. He's doubled and homered. Two and 0. Angels scored 3 runs in the top of the 8th inning. That made it a 6-3 ball game. And they're threatening to expand their lead here in the 9th. Chavez walks Trout, and that'll load the bases. Blue Jays have seen more than they care to see of Mike Trout and Mark Trumbo. Trout's hit a pair of home runs, and 1 to left and 1 to center, and Trumbo's got just as much power.
The first one, this is the one that was impressive for Mark Trumbo. He went down and got it, and just effective wrist to right center field, and then the big one off Cordero to left field. No doubt about it. Power and speed. That's what you've got from those 2 players.
Well, this is disappointing. Final game of this series. They got a good starting effort from Aaron Laffey. He kept the Angels in check. There's 4 hits. He gave up 3 runs. The Blue Jays would actually tie it up in the bottom of the 7th. Made it a 3-3 game. J.P. Arancibia with a solo home run. But then the Angels stormed right back with 3 runs on 4 hits off of Francisco Cordero. And now they have the bases loaded and nobody out. Torrey Hunter.
Missing his spots now. They want to go in, but that one a little bit too quick and too close. Infield's got to come in now. Can't afford to give up any more runs.
Ball on a strike. Hunter to center field. Rasmus backing up, makes the catch. Tagging at third is Ibar, and he'll come in to score. Rasmus made a good play on that hard hit ball, but the Angels score another run.
Well, that is one kind of play right there by Rasmus. He just reaches up, throws the glove up, and the ball goes in it. That ball kept rising off the bat of Torrey Hunter.
Scott Richmond starts to loosen up for the Blue Jays. Angels lead 7-3 now. Pitch out as they were looking for the Angels to move the runner. Trout at first has great speed. Got 22 steals. Peter Borges came on defensively. He's on deck. He has yet to have an at-bat this afternoon. He moved into center field defensively. Bottom of the 8th. Pujols on the ground. Base hit through the left side. Hester comes in to score. It's 8-3 Angels. Pujols with his second hit of the afternoon. And the Angels have jumped on the Blue Jays bullpen. And John Farrell will come out and make a pitching change. The right-hander Scott Richmond will come out of the pen, and he'll face Peter Borges when we come back. The Angels lead by 5.
Honda racing innovation at the Honda Indy Toronto, July 6th to 8th. Get tickets at HondaIndy.com.
Honda IndyCar outside Rogers Center here this afternoon as part of the Canada Day celebration, and that race will take place in the second week of July. Scott Richmond comes out of the bullpen. Those are his numbers from AAA Las Vegas, where he was a starter. So Richmond on in relief of Jesse Chavez. Peter Borges will bat for the first time this afternoon.
Scott Richmond pitched in game 2 in this series. Got 4 outs against the Angels. Gave up a couple of runs. Got a 1-2-3 6th inning and gave up a couple runs in the 7th inning.
This is his 3rd appearance since being called up from AAA. It's a total of 2 1/3. Or just fouls it back. Blue Jays bullpen has been inconsistent of late. They've had to work an awful lot throughout the month of June since the pitchers went down. Drew Hutchison last went down. They lost 3 starters. And after that, Blue Jays starters haven't been able to pitch deep in the game, and you have to get a lot of innings from your bullpen. And the Angels offensively have taken advantage. 8 runs on 11 hits here this afternoon, and they've pounded out 3 home runs. There's a base hit through left field. Mike Trout's coming around. Here's the throw from Encarnacion. Is not in time. Trout scores. Mike Trout scores for the 3rd time this afternoon on the RBI single by Peter Borges.
Well, he's got dynamic speed when he is on the bases. Again, he cut that corner at 3rd base, and then it's like he found another gear. Borges finds the hole on the left side out in the left field to Encarnacion, but Trout came around, found another gear when he got to 3rd base.
Encarnacion makes a pretty good throw.
Yeah, but he just outruns the baseball.
Kendrys Morales doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 4. Angels now with 12 hits this afternoon. 4th straight game they've had double-digit hits against the Blue Jays.
And we talked about Mike Trout, and for me, he resembles Kirk Gibson. Now he plays the game how hard he is. Watch, he hits that bag, and boom. Doesn't take him long to get the home plate to score that run. powerful lower half, just like Gibby did when he was playing.
Okay, he made a great turn around third. It took him just one stride, and he was going straight down the third base foul line. C.J. Wilson pitched 5 innings here this afternoon, and he was charged with 2 runs, 1 earned run, and walked 5. And he will get a no decision. The Blue Jays tied it up in the bottom of the 7th. That ball squirts away from Aaron Sebia, and Pujols moves to third. A wild pitch on Scott Richmond. That curveball bounced in the dirt. Boy, after that solo home run by Aaron Sebia, it's been all Angels. 3 in the 8th and 3 more here in the 9th. And this wild pitch will allow Pujols to move to third. One out. Lynn goes to second for 1 and back to first. Not in time. Good hard slide by Peter Borges. Disrupted the timing of Escobar. Pujols comes in to score. It's 10-3 Angels.
Morales will pick up an RBI because his teammate got in there and broke up that double play. It was hit hard. And it looked like the Blue Jays had a chance of turning a double play. Throws a little bit high, upsetting the timing a little bit around second base. But if Borges isn't there to take the feed out of Escobar, they turn the double play.
Boy, 7 runs in the last 2 innings. Morales picks up the RBI. Howie Kendricks had a pair of hits today. Tom Hallion said no swing when he was asked by home plate umpire James Hoy. Two and 1. Right back off the mound into center field. Howie Kendrick with a 3-hit afternoon. Blue Jays got off to a decent start. Their starting pitching was very good early in the season. In April, they went 12-11. The ERA very respectable. They won a couple of more games in May, but the ERA started to creep up. The opponent's batting average as well. And then in June, compounded by losing 3 starting pitchers early in June, they have had a losing record.
ERA just under 538 home runs given up.
Blue Jays have not had a winning June since 2007. Where the Angels have had 11 winning months of June under Mike Scioscia's 13 years as the manager. So they turned things on in June. And the Blue Jays are struggling to have a winning June.
It's happened a lot for the Jays, that June swoon. I don't know if it's interleague play or they're matched up against. This year, starting pitching goes down in June. That was a reason for that.
Oh, looked like it fouled off Aaron Sevia's right arm.
The right hand. Yeah, it certainly did. Ideally, you'd like to get that behind your body. If you're the catcher, that opposite hand in a non-throwing situation, so you guard against foul tips.
One and 2 to Alberto Callaspo. Now it's 2 and 2. Ball is deflected by Richmond, and there's not going to be a play. That'll be an infield hit for Alberto Callaspo as Richmond fell off to the first base side of the mound, reached back for it. Had he not touched it, it would have been an easy play for the shortstop, but his instincts told him to go for it. And once he tips it, it's not going to be an easy play for anybody.
Nope, that would have been a nice, easy ground ball to Escobar. But he just can't get that glove turned back around to make that play. We're better off just let it go.
Little looper, and behind shortstop, Escobar makes the grab at the inning. Leads to 4 runs for the Angels. They have blown it up. It's 10-3 LA. Kansas City Royals will be in town, and they'll start a 4-game series here tomorrow night, July 2nd. It all starts at 7:07 p.m. Ricky Romero will be on the mound for the Blue Jays. He'll be matched up against the left-hander Everett Teaford for Kansas City. 4-game series, all night games. For tickets, call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. You can log on to BlueJays.com and order your Blue Jays tickets, or you can always stop by the Rogers Plus stores and pick up your tickets. New pitcher for the Angels will be Jordan Walden.
Walden picked up the loss, his second loss of the season. That was in Friday night's game. Walden came in the 7th inning and was charged with a run when Encarnacion scored on a double by Escobar down the right field line. Former closer for the Angels, throws very hard.
Very hard, but his delivery has created some inconsistencies, so he's been moved to a less prominent role in the bullpen. Now they're just trying to get him straightened out. 3-0.
I think that delivery, you were just talking about it, plays very inconsistent. Leans up on that back leg. A lot of movement before he delivers the pitch.
And a 4-pitch walk. That starts tonight. Now it's time for a Hockey Central preview. Here's Darren Millard. Big day in hockey as the July 1st free agent signing period begins. And a lot of news around hockey, and Darren Millard will have it for you. J.P. Arancibia homered his last time up, takes the first pitch strike. Arancibia's home run number 11 on the season. That tied the game at 3-all. He was in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Breaking ball from Jason Isringhausen. That ended up tying the game, and Isringhausen in line for the win tonight.
It's all about timing, isn't it? He gave up a run, tied up the game, and then his offense scored 3 in the top of the 8th.
So it was interesting that Ernesto Frieri was in the ball game. Did you find that interesting that he came in the 8th inning?
I think Mike Scioscia knew that this was a pivotal game for him. He was able to rest Frieri a couple of games, and then he thought, you know what, I'm going to take a shot in the 8th inning, and then when they scored 3 runs.
Yeah, then you take him out.
Take him out. Stretched it out, and Aaron Sebia strikes out.
I thought we might have seen Scott Downs in the 8th, because Downs has been their 8th and Frieri the 9th. But with that Fab 4, as you call it, in the 8th inning, I think he wanted his best reliever, Frieri, to go through the top of the order. And then Scott Downs was warming up for the bottom of the 9th until they scored the 4 runs, and that's when Jordan Walden got up trying to mop it up.
Yeah, a lot of times that important inning will be the 8th and not the 9th, and certainly with Rasmus, Bautista, and Encarnacion, the first 3 hitters in that 8th. That's why Frieri got the call. And so after he gets out of the 8th inning, they score 4 more, and that's it. So he'll be fresh and ready to go tomorrow night in Cleveland. Omar Vizquel, a 3-0 count. Looks like the 2 teams will split the 4-game series. And there's the walk to Vizquel. 2 men on with 1 out. For the season, they would end up 8-8 with the Angels. Oh, excuse me, 4-4 of the 8 games. They split the 8 games. Went 2-2 on the road. Looks like they're going to go 2-2 here at home as well.
Saw some good pitched games against the Angels, and I really like the Angels. They're going to be right there all season long. We saw Brandon Morrow's shutout earlier this year. We were out there. Henderson Alvarez has pitched twice against them, and 2 gems against the Angels.
Morrow and Alvarez threw back-to-back shutouts against them early in the season, and at that time the Angels, first of all, they didn't have Mike Trout. Mike Trout had just joined them.
Yeah.
Excuse me, came up at the end of April. But Alvarez was dealing, Morrow was dealing, and they shut out the Angels.
Pujols wasn't hitting. Not like we have seen him in this series.
And Trumbo wasn't really hitting either. He had a great month of May, and he has put things together. Now Pujols is back. 2 more hits here this afternoon. He's had a 4-hit game in the series. Well, Walden's really struggling to throw strikes. You can see why he lost his closer role.
Yeah, inconsistency with his slider, little inconsistencies with his fastball. He raises up on that back leg right before he lets go of the pitch, and he doesn't have a firm grip of the ground.
Almost like he's jumping at home plate, and that throws him off.
Yeah, it throws off his timing with his arm trying to get in the spots. It's that leg that's engaged with the rubber, that back leg. Really jumps off the back leg.
Hopped up. Second baseman Howie Kendrick. Infield fly is in order. Lori's retired. Blue Jays are down to their final out. Mentioned the Kansas City Royals series. Ricky Romero will open things up, and Bruce Walton's encouraged by Romero's last side session. He'll go up against Everett T. Firth. Royals have yet to announce a starter for Game 2. He'll go up against Brett Cecil, Luis Mendoza, Carlos Villanueva on Wednesday, and then Jonathan Sanchez and Henderson Alvarez.
You'll see some of those TBAs from Kansas City because they have the same problem that the Blue Jays have had with their starters. A lot of them going out with injuries. We saw Danny Duffy early in the year. He's gone because of Tommy John. We saw Felipe Polino now on the disabled list with Tommy John. So
yeah, they've had a tough go of it as well. I think at last count we counted up 112 pitchers on the disabled list around baseball. Colby Rasmus high and deep to right. Home run Rasmus. No doubter to the second deck. His 15th.
Kobe starting off July like he finished up June. Couple of walks, a hit batter, and then a laser, number 15. As he gets closer to 50 RBIs, watch how he goes down and gets this one, and he keeps it fair. A lot of times you'll see hitters yank that ball and hook it down, but Rasmus keeps it fair into the second deck of right field.
Jose Bautista. Bautista has a hit. He's also picked up an RBI on an error by the second baseman. Ball bounced about a foot in front of home plate. For Rasmus, that's his 15th homer. His career high in home runs is 23. Came in 2010 with the Cardinals. That is not the kind of home run you like to celebrate. Obviously, the 3-run home run in a lopsided game, but boy, oh boy, is he swinging the bat well.
And it's easy power. He doesn't have to swing hard to get the ball jumping off his bat.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Jose Bautista. Jordan Walden struggling here in the bottom of the ninth. He's walked a pair and given up a 3-run home run. And Bautista strikes out. The game is over. Blue Jays will split the 4 games against the Angels. They lose late, 7 runs given up by their bullpen, and it blows it wide open.
Yeah, a lot of good players on the Angels. It was fun to watch them through these 4 games, but a number to think about. The Blue Jays scored 31 runs in the 4 games, and it can only get a split against the Angels, averaging about 7.5 runs a game. They just gave up way too many runs. The hitting shoes came on, and pitchers have to iron some things out.
We'll be right back here tomorrow night, the first of 4 against the Kansas City Royals. We'll have them all for you. Ricky Romero opens it up. Stay tuned for Hockey Central. Coming right up, here's Darren Millard.